Yes, I'm aware I'm muted, guys. I was sharing everything, and yes, I'll let you all in here in a second. One moment, please. Gosh, just chill out, guys. My goodness. Can't even wait for 5 seconds for stuff to happen. Yeah, so Rafa, here's the panel link, and then I'm just getting ready to post the call-in link now. So call-in link is going now, guys. There's the call-in link. And we're just getting started, guys. I haven't had a chance to get anything organized yet. Rafa, how are you doing?
All right, I'm here. There we go. Can you hear me?
I can.
Making sure.
So we are going to cover the drama first with JP because it's funny and I want to laugh at people to begin with. And then we will go straight into covering some theology that's been spicing up the timeline a little bit. Dr. Tony Acosta had a entire article that he wrote recently that I felt would be interesting to at least read. Where are my bookmarks?
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, shoot for the.
Guys, Monday is Memorial Day.
You cut.
Monday is Memorial Day.
Uh-huh.
If you have the chance, go and visit the graves of your brothers and sisters.
Correct.
Yep. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. It doesn't matter if they served or not. Just go visit the graves if you have the day off.
And I'm gonna upset JP. Watch, he'll clip this out of context. He'll clip this out of context. Timothy C is requesting. Timothy, can you give me a wave? I just need to verify you're a person. Otherwise, you have to do the call in. You have to call in with the.
Oh, hey.
There we go. Yeah, see, it's Holy Kaiser. It's Kaiser. I'm sorry. I forgot to. Yeah. Hey, brother.
I changed my name. It's okay. What was that?
Did you not go to Vespers tonight?
Tonight? No, I work today.
Oh.
Every day. Except tomorrow.
All right.
Like, no, I ain't doing that no more. I don't know if y'all saw. I have it the time stamped because I wanted to send it to you. I was talking to my buddy. Did you see that Ash went on Cleve to rage about dealing with JP? I was like,
okay.
Dude, I was like, at least we weren't the only ones. So I was like, dude, we got to the part where you showed up, Ash, and we were just like, we can't take this anymore. Like,
can't do it.
He said he's got Swiss cheese for brains. I'm like, dude, there are smart Protestants, okay?
There are, yeah.
JP is not one of them.
Except none of the smart Protestants have YouTube channels.
Well, and none of the smart Protestants that do have YouTube channels do any sort of debate. They're the ones that like drone on in the background talking about like the differences between Calvin and Luther's soteriology. Like they're making like
honest.
boring monologue.
That's actually honest thing to talk about.
I need to find my glasses if we want to start talking about that and be like, it's very you got to be irenic when you're doing discussions.
I need to get myself a camera at some point so I can just sit here and be like, ooh, look at this
and pontificate. Yes, indeed. I think a lot of people turn debate into trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong instead of just coming to the conclusion that I'm right.
No.
And I feel like that is I feel like you're affecting I feel like the Super Bowl would be a lot more interesting if everyone just agreed to have a fun time and they weren't trying to win, you see. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Guys, I can personally guarantee we will start crying to Mother Mary on Friday night. But it's not Friday for
Okay,
me, so I'm
All
sorry.
Orthodox churches
we
so dark and
we
depressing.
do the akathist every Friday night, and I don't feel like crying. Sometimes I feel like crying because
Of the weight of your sin, yeah.
no, because I just stand there most of it because they don't like it when I sing because
I
I'm too
cry from
Russian.
pain.
But I have like pretty excruciating hip, back, knee, and leg pain.
Well, we
So
would let
I
you
get
sit
through it.
down then.
It was pretty bad. No, sitting down for weenies. What? How dare you? Who? Kick him right now. Kick him for suggesting. He next thing you know, he's gonna start recommending pews. Tell him
No,
get out.
no, I recommend you kick the little kids off of the chairs on the side and sit down if you have back pain.
No, I think it's okay to like every once in a while go take a seat if it's really bothering you that badly and just like give it a
That
tiny bit of a rest. But
that's the
yeah,
point of the seats is for people who are infirm.
Don't say that about me. Messed up.
how dare you?
I have to live in this body. Now you're gonna make fun of me too.
No, we have a Navy vet in the parish right now. He's going through a lot, but one of the things is his back. Like two of his vertebrae got fused together when he fell off a roof during
Yeah,
some
that
training.
happens.
So his back is
Yep.
like just killing him. So
I have this shoulder right
my
here, guys.
priest has told him to sit down. Like
Not I don't want us to get bogged down in military talk again because
yeah.
God
I'm trying. Hey, I'm
forbid.
staying quiet.
I mean this
Yeah.
is
We
church.
had a
this
lot
is
of
my-
watchers. And
this
they
is
enjoyed
my
it.
church talk.
shoulder
This is church talk.
yeah, fair enough, but my shoulder I can't raise it past
Me neither.
there.
Yeah.
Now this shoulder, go to my ear. This shoulder, I feel it like it doesn't hurt, but I can feel it tighten, and it does not let me get up
Does it-
past there.
You
If-
don't have
if
any.
you could
don't have
touch
any
my
rural
shoulder-
medicine out in Korea you can get
It's-
done to lift
He
your
doesn't. He
shoulder.
doesn't eat rhino penis, sir. He doesn't like shaved.
shark fin.
Crushed tiger bone.
In some fairness, like sometimes this stuff's legit. Not that stuff specifically, but it sucks because it all gets lumped in together. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, guys. Like
The quackery gets lumped with the non-quackery.
aspirin
It's
comes from
unfortunate.
trees, right? Someone figured that out at some point.
Yeah, someone said,
Yeah.
chew on this tree. Are you sure this is gonna work?
I had a hippie cousin.
Yeah.
So my
Seems to
hip,
work.
as an example of the power of Protestantism, she got married when she was 18, Protestant lady, immediately divorces the guy, becomes a hippie, and then a stripper. And she had this weird tendency to like hate on me for no reason.
Wait,
I
what
think it was-
city in Washington do you live in?
Today, you doxing me, Chud. What are you doing?
Does it start with O?
No.
Is it around
No.
a city that starts with O?
No. I live in the middle of nowhere. Like
These guys are
legitimately.
so
Okay.
obsessed. Guys,
Here's a new. Wait,
so
a
to
16-minute video of Jedi begging for money.
so him asking for super chats or him just like going back and forth with his audience going, yo guys, why you give me that super chat, bro? And stuff like that apparently is begging for money. Guys, what do you think streamers do?
I have to know. Did he put Pay Piggy on there?
And
He
No,
wrote a whole song about it.
you
Pay
is probably
Piggy.
It's here, and then we can up the quality of everything. Do the new microphone fund, and we'll get it popping off. And people are like, "Why you do your live stream
This
so
is
long?"
clearly a joke.
Because the longer you do it, the more people donate. Because I don't have a new computer.
This is clearly a joke.
No, I
he's
mean not
clearly
even
joking.
some of
I-
this. But it's like
do you know what I think Jay makes the most money on right now?
Geopolitics.
Probably speaking engagements,
probably
his books, and then dividends off of his Bitcoin.
Probably.
He does
yeah.
have like 200,000 subscribers too. Like so, it's like
Yeah.
I think with Jay,
Just
the
a
biggest-
single video, by the way, a single video of Jay's. So like here, guys, we'll just do a quick like kind of
Jay's not
Math.
hurting, and I'm sure Jay also gives a lot of money to his parish.
I'll
well,
just
he
put it like
does.
this.
I'm certain he does.
I do a lot of like work research and stuff during, and I can kind of listen to videos and stuff in the background when I'm on like investigation or if I'm watching a site or something like that. And what I was just gonna say about it is,
Each
I
one of these
can-
videos is bringing in like, no, just real quick, like each 1,000 views is probably like about $1.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, guys, that's really how much 1,000 views is roughly $1. Kind of
Yeah.
depends on.
$11 on that one.
You know, so in 6 days he's only earned 8, 9,
Cholo Church. That was awesome. I was like, no, what is this?
$28.
$28, right? Where the real money is the fact that he's getting 39, 40, 48, 39, 40, 29, not including super chats.
People come into his lives and watch.
Yes, and by the way, once these become video on demand, they start acting as normal videos, so they earn ad revenue afterwards as well.
Yeah.
So Jay's making a little bit, but it's not like he's like, it's not like he could probably live off of his YouTube income. He probably could. Off of my wife is yelling at my daughter in the background. In Korean. I was just like, okay. He could probably live off this, but like it's not going to be like super comfortable. It's going to be like pretty tight living throughout the year. That's not, and again, remember, YouTube takes 30% off the top.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say too is that so I've listened to a lot. The point of that story is I listened to a lot of his live streams. His grifting is like within reality is probably he doesn't grift really at all. He'll say like, oh hey, if you want to donate, that's my Bitcoin. It's one Bitcoin. Blah blah blah.
Well, and
Shock.com is my spot.
I do want to announce I'm doing a church tour, a church planting tour, and I'm charging about $1,000 to teach people how to plant churches. So you guys didn't hear that was Rusalong's whole
I was
thing?
about to start laughing and be like, I wanted Rachel to go on there as a woman, but I'm trying to be a woman past and just see how.
One thing I'll also give Jay is whenever he has a guest on, he splits super chats.
Yeah.
Whenever Jay has a guest on, like Father John Whiteford, whenever he goes on with Jay, he'll split the super chats.
Oh, is that the case?
Yeah.
I think specifically
that's
with
a class act.
Yes.
That's a class act.
I don't think Jay makes that much money off super chats that he's willing to just split it.
Well, let's not forget, what's his face? Alex Soren said the same thing, which is Jay's never asked him for anything. And
Jay's never asked me for anything either.
Yeah, he's always promoting people. He's always lifting people up. He gets a little like, I don't know, I guess being like a military guy, like none of his behavior really bothers me. It's like, yeah, he gets a little sassy at the end of a stream because he's tired. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
dude, guys, forget the Jay is not like a young pup either. He's like,
he's been on there for 8 hours. He's starting to crash out, dude.
Like, his hairline's immaculate. Don't let that fool you.
That is true. Just because his hairline's immaculate don't let that. Yeah,
dude.
Exactly.
JP's got to review Pay Piggy then if he wants to hear all about if he wants to talk about grifting. He has a whole song about it. Pay Piggy, give me one more super chat. What'd you do?
It's apple cider vinegar makes the water.
Why?
You should have mixed the apple cider vinegar with Mountain Dew.
Nikolai, I'll join your chat for 500 a minute, 1,000 a minute for the panel. Okay.
I mean that's a pretty good deal, honestly. What kind of returns will we see on that? Yeah. I'll send you 500 yen.
It's ridiculous.
It's like
or what on some rubles? I'll give you 500 rubles. I only know that because of Escape from Tarkov. I only know the conversion rates because of that, so I don't know how much money that is.
So
a ruble is not that much less than $1, believe it. He's blocked me, by the way. So
he blocked you. That's a badge of honor right there.
For asking.
Well, the thing, you know what's crazy is he challenged me to a debate. He's like, I'll debate Nikolai, and then I go to check. I'm like, okay, I'll send him a message. He literally had me blocked. I'm like, how am I supposed to schedule a debate with you, bro? So what he's doing is he's just challenging people to debates, but then he's just like finding excuses not to actually go.
He's gonna bounce out from Alex Soren because Alex Soren.
100%. Well, did you guys see what he did to Alex recently? Let's see.
Let's see how he chooses to disrespect
it was absolutely disgusting what he did.
And Alex is pretty, quote, irenic. You know, he's pretty accommodating and nice, to be frank with you. Like, he put up with the other Paul disrespecting him constantly. I'm like, yeah, I would have come unglued at some point. I'm a nice person. Like, I like people, get along well with just about anyone. But if you start talking bad about me behind my back, I lose my mind. First time debate opponents crash out before. What do you do?
Where it's got to be.
Swiss cheese for brains, dude. Swiss cheese for brains. I lost it. You pig.
Yeah,
Yo.
oh, that's what he says. This
Oh
is where
yeah, the AI
people,
Porky
people
Pig
can,
meme.
yeah. Yo, pig, can you spread your false? Okay, but how we gotta speak? How does he speak? He goes, "All right,
Pig.
guys. Yo, pig, you need to spread your
He
propaganda
misspelled.
of a false death threat. You nasty, filthy pig said that Eminem album was a death threat. What else would you call it? All because you wanted to distract people from your false god. Jay Dyer is a grifter. What is Jay grifting? Okay, I don't. Grifters lost all meaning.
All right, so are you
It's
familiar
lost all meaning.
with the
I
song
mean,
Pay Pig? I'm being
grifter is a
serious.
very, very old term. It's kind of like carpetbagger. It's as old as carpetbagger.
Carpetbagger's real though.
Yeah. However you feel about the Civil War.
I was once a
Father
rich man.
James.
Stop
Yes.
it. Who put that meme? Stop it.
Okay, so
Well, no, he made a Porky Pig meme of him. If you, and I guess you can't see it. JP used AI to make Alex Soren Porky Pig.
I'm trying to find it. It's got to be around here.
I mean, JP did do the one with Cleve bowing before Jay Dyer. That one was funny though. Like, I was like, that's awesome. I don't know if you saw that one.
I
was
can't
actually
find
good.
it. I know
let me
Alex
see if I
had
can
it.
find it, and I'll try kicking it too if I can get like a screenshot of it. Because
There it
it's
is.
blocked.
He deleted it. That's why. Porky Pig Orthodoxy. Alex Soren is going to explain how I got cooked by someone who said a first century rabbi said something that wasn't really
Oh
there.
my
Explain
gosh,
it.
he's still
And
coping. Wow, dude.
It's so like these guys are just so like AI has been horrible for these types of people because they can just like
I'm gonna
be the
disagree.
most
That
insufferable people on the planet.
pull up JP's Cleve screenshot. That one was good. Where it was Jay Dyer as the king and Cleve to Antiquity was kneeling before him. That was actually funny.
Yeah.
Everyone like the Porky Pig thing just kind of annoys me because I too have a fat face. So like I
Well,
know
yeah,
how
you
it feels to where it's
he's
like I'm
having
not that fat. I'm like 200 pounds. Like I'm 6 feet tall. That's not that fat.
It's over. It's
over.
over. As to talk like to do the Cleve.
It's over.
Cleve. It's so over. Grift to quit. This is not even a good.
He did.
It's not even like grift to antiquity. Like grift to cleave to griftiquity is just it doesn't flow off the mouth properly. It's horrible way. Has been exposed. I tortured my audience by playing JP Uncut Messianic Synog on loop until I hit super chat goal.
He really did though.
By the
I
way,
was
guys,
there.
do you want me to do that too? Do you want me to torture you guys until I get the super chat goal? Actually, I haven't even set that up. Let me set that up. See, guys, this is how you know I don't care as much about the money as I should because I forget to do that stuff.
Thousands of years of orthodoxy.
Pay me
it's
to
over.
be a grifter. That's what you guys are gonna do. I'm gonna start the goal. That's what the goal's for. Okay.
How about this? We'll let you come on and say the worst opinions ever. You just have to pay. I'll even say I agree with you as long as you keep.
Don't do
just
that.
keep paying Nikolai. Just keep playing him, and I'll be like, "Wow, dude, that's very interesting." And Nikolai could just sit there and be quiet.
So I do have an announcement for people that are aware. You can go to the PayPal link below if you don't want YouTube taking 30%. You're welcome to pay through PayPal and leave me a message. I'll open up the PayPal and read any messages that you guys want me to read at the end. So we'll treat it like a super chat, except you're not paying 30% to this godless corporation.
Nikolai won't
He's
let me put
grifting.
my PayPal in, and I won't answer
He's grifting.
So we have a couple different things. So anyways, I wanted to cover how badly he's crashing out.
I feel like we should give credit to that one good AI meme he made. Just the one.
So when you quickly walk past a gay bar and you see a dude look like this.
The thing is, Cleve doesn't care.
He doesn't care. And by the way, the reason everyone, like, guys, people keep on mentioning Cleve's shirts. Dude, everybody in Florida dresses this way. Every man in Florida.
It's part of a cult. If you recall, Ruslan said that everyone who does the Miami Vice thing is in a cult.
Does
But it's not just Miami Vice.
Does
My
nobody
parents
remember Boogaloo
live.
Boys? Does nobody remember them?
Of course, we remember Boogaloo Boys. They were kind of lame, but they were a thing.
They did
Probably.
have good fashion sense.
Kind of. They kind of did. And again, like Alex Soren, it's you're already crashing out before the debate. He's been good faith with you,
When is
really.
the
The entire
debate
time.
even? When even is the debate? Like in
They haven't scheduled it yet because Modern Day Debate hasn't been able to get JP to confirm a time.
He's never going to take it. And to be honest with you, it's like I wouldn't if I was
He's
him.
really
I'll
bad
put
at
it like
grifting.
that.
I just want to say he's bad at grifting. You need to have your YouTube link linked in your bio, dude. Come on. Come on. If you're going to be like trying to grift off getting viral attacking Jay all the time and get all the Jay haters in your chat, you need to at least link them to your video.
he has
man.
less
And
than
there's a life
1,000.
lesson here.
When I was on Twitter, I had 1,000 followers.
He joined in 2023. Now, I'm not going to say I tweet like a madman because I just have a lot of like that's what I do for a living, but
I should probably start doing that.
I joined in 2021.
Oh my gosh, it's an Orthodox monarchist. I did not read it as monarchist. I was about to say something.
Orthodox monarchist, husband and father, business owner, accidental YouTuber,
You think it was
baptized under the
Orthodox
Moscow Patriarch.
monergist, didn't you?
No, that's not what I thought. I had a friend, so again, I go to a lot of these nuclear sites, and one of the guys said, they say, oh, well, she doesn't like James. And I'm like, why doesn't she like James? James is awesome. She goes, well, he's a masochist. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at her, and it took me like 15 minutes to realize she meant misogynist. And she said masochist. So I'm like, why would you tell me that?
Yeah.
why would you tell me that? And why would that?
So, guys, remember when
that's an
Alton
HR
Johnson?
violation.
Remember when Alton Johnson called into stream and we were like, "Hey, man, do you have any issues with orthodoxy? Any questions about theology? Do you have anything you want to cover? Blah 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 blah." And he said, "Oh, I just want to talk about how you guys aren't dealing with the fact that you have racists in your camp." And he just kept on bringing it back to like race
Yeah.
and how people are mean. And we insisted, like, dude, is there anything theological
Kaiser's
you want to
priests
address?
had to deal with this. I remember that. Kaiser's priests had to deal with this.
Whoa! Do not bring that up. No, he
But-
didn't. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
I was not part of that. Don't bring it up.
But-
you were not
But
part of it.
Alton,
But I know the
right
guys
here.
who were. I know the.
Notice how he
I
is.
wasn't
By the
there.
way, this photo
weren't
does
there.
not represent him at all. Like, guys, no offense. Like, I know I admit that my PFP was just a randomly generated thing, but he's trying to make one that looks exactly like him. Mine's just a random like cartoon image of someone. But
You're right.
anyways,
I should have a real PFP. Give me a
Comes
minute.
up and says, "What must I do to be saved?" What would you say to them?
And that's not what I'm here to discuss.
Unfortunate. It's the most important thing that you don't want to talk about.
so again, this is what he always does. This is what Need God always does. Is he says, "I want to talk about justification and how you're saved," which is again. Which again, Counterdox is totally in the right here. He's like, I came to discuss a specific issue of your theology. Just because, and look at the smarmy smile this guy has. Just look at that. He's like, he knows. He's like, I know that I'm gonna just play my audience for a fool. It's the most important topic. Why won't you talk about it? It's like we're fine with you know how many Orthodox people are fine talking about that?
We all are. I'll talk about it right now.
Every single
Yes,
one of
Want
us.
to talk
I'll
about
talk-
salvation right now? I'm down. What I don't understand is it's the same thing they always do. They're like, it's a Pharisee act, and then they literally act like Pharisees, and I'm holier than you. Don't you see? Like, why would you not care about talking about the most important thing, which is our salvation? And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to point. Like, if you want to talk about that, I guess we can. What he has to make it, and that's an ad hominem, right? He's poisoning the well. I mean to say, he's already poisoned the well, saying, well, because you don't want to talk about this, you must be unholy. That's the only reason.
You must not be saved. Is
That's
what
it.
his implication is.
What Eastern Orthodox doing to you, man? You're
But
not
the Orthobros are
that's a
mad.
simple basic question. What must I
You
do
don't
to
even
be saved?
understand what a basic fallacy is.
The very question that was asked to Paul and Silas. Do you remember what their answer was?
I didn't watch that part of your stream.
Okay.
I'm here to debate you. I'm not here to watch
It's not part of the stream, my friend. This is part of the Bible.
Why are you preaching?
Paul and Silas.
So he was just confused about who he was referring to at the time.
Again, the guy's preaching at him. I would have told him to shut up. I don't want to hear his preaching either. I'll be honest. Like my patience for like these people is very.
Well, Alton has been just crashing out for weeks, just like all the rest of them.
Going after they're calling another grifter did our self-proclaimed grifter. Respect the law. Oh my gosh.
Because he asks his supporters, hey guys, remember to super chat if you have a question, blah blah. That's not grifting, guys.
It's over.
It's over. Grifting is when you're using a platform, using your beliefs or platform, or the beliefs of a platform of another person that you don't actually believe, to monetize it.
Or selling something you don't actually have.
Exactly. A grifter is basically a con man.
Mm-hmm.
Jay is not offering up fake goods. Everything you see from Jay is what you get. You know what I mean? It's like, you want theology? He's going to give you the theology. You want geopolitical analysis? You're going to get geopolitical analysis.
No, I called into Jay one time, and I was trying to point out a funny historical fact, and everyone laughed and called me the schizo, and I just laughed about it. It didn't bother me. There really was a fashion police in medieval Europe. That's not a lie.
Guys, go ahead and share the link for anyone who wants to debate. There, I'll post it in the comments. Anyone who wants to debate, also share the stream, like the stream, all that nonsense. Got a grift max right now. So until we get 50 likes, we're not. I'm just kidding. we're not moving on, folks. We're not moving on until we get the 50 likes.
Not gonna happen until we get 50 likes. What we're gonna do is we're gonna watch Messianic Jews. Dude, I told it was on Cleaved Antiquity, he was going through it. I'm like, this is like worse than Dark Side Phil leaving his camera off. I'd rather watch that. He's like, so true.
He's ranting and raving about
Wait, is that the guy who Andrew Wilson just debated?
I have no idea.
I believe it. If I can see a picture of him, I think that's the guy, and you could find it. Yeah. He just debated Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson destroyed him.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, yes, he did. He did call in.
And it was quite sad and incredibly disrespectful again, because he just kept. Again, this is a point I want to make. The Orthodox do not make claims on the individual state of someone's soul, for the record. They are, and they do. They say, Jay, you're not saved. You're not going to heaven. I've never said that about a Protestant. I don't know if they're going to heaven. I sure hope they do, actually, believe it or not.
Well, talking about who's going to heaven, that is what we're going to be talking about today, theologically. So we have, as per usual, the Latinizers decided, hey, now is a good time to, do our, quarterly crash out about how the Orthodox teach Western original sin and
penal substitution
penal substitution atonement and inherited guilt. But they did so in the most laughable, joking way that you could possibly do it, and that is via Caleb of
Atlantis? Are we talking about Atlantis?
This guy, who we all know as Patriarch Prime, I don't know why he names himself Patriarch Prime. He's done so for years. He has decided that outside of is this the account that he posts on now, or no? This isn't the one he posts anymore. I think because I'm not blocked on this one. He has me blocked on his actual account.
Is he a patriarch, or is he a patriarch, or is he false advertising? Because he's got the Byzantine
false advertising.
Lame. I thought he was the Emperor of Byzantium. That's lame as heck, man. Come on. I should just get a robe and declare myself the Emperor of.
I think this is him. Yes, this is the one. He's blocked. This is the one that he has me blocked on. He had a specific thing that came about recently, talking about
God died for us because it's impossible for any man to be saved unless God died for us.
So first off, he's a retard. That's not true.
Yeah, Elijah.
The reason God died for us was because it was impossible for any man to be saved unless God died for us. God can save anyone he needs, he wants without dying, and the saints make that absolutely abundantly clear.
He brought Elijah to heaven on a golden chariot. Because Elijah crashed out and was like, "This place sucks. I don't want to be here anymore." And God was like, "Yeah, fam, that sucks, dude. I got you." Like, just because.
Yeah. And I want to point out another thing. God can forgive without there being a penalty.
Like, well, again, I don't. This goes back
You
to
want
the
to know
bean
why?
counter.
You want to know
Why?
why? The Ninevites. God said, "Turn away from your wicked ways and you will not die. You will not suffer the consequences of
That's
that."
true.
And what did they do? They repented
And
and
he
did so.
spared him.
He spared them. There was no condition other than abandon your wicked ways and repent.
And that's a good point, because when you look at the tale of Jonah and the whale specifically, it covers pretty clearly that God not only doesn't want to punish them, because remember, Jonah looks up at the tree branch and he sees it wither and die, and he panics thinking that these people are going to die, and then God says, "If it bothered you so much to see that tree branch wither, imagine how I must feel." You know what I mean? If I would have to kill these people or destroy them. Doesn't that imply that he doesn't want to make people suffer or punish them?
This is why you don't get your yes, no, yeah, you're right. But I just want to point out, guys, this is why you don't get your theology from young 20-year-olds. I think prime is like 22. This is why you don't get your theology from 22-year-olds who have been in the church
and have never had
for
kids.
a fraction of the time, who don't have kids.
I don't want to be mean and say people can be theologians without having kids. Sorry. But I'm just saying having kids puts a lot of this into perspective. Once you have kids of your own.
Who is he under?
Who? That's a good question, because he church hopped for a while because he kept on getting people kept on reporting to his priest that he was pushing PSA. This was a couple of years back, and so he would just leave the church and go to a new one.
The
so
other
he
night
could
when
avoid
Father
accountability.
Stephen was on Alex's channel, he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put this to bed. My archbishop says PSA is not okay, so you cannot be in my jurisdiction and say that it's okay."
There you go. Period. And by the way, my bishop, I can't tell you how many paragraphs and paragraphs of stuff that I've sent breaking down the debate between PSA, what my view is and what their view is, and he would say, "Yeah, your view is what I taught you, right?" It's like, he's under the Moscow Patriarchate.
Again, you don't have to look too far. I mean, one time a Latinizer, or someone who Father Stephen Young thought was a Latinizer, was on Alex's stream. I don't know if you remember that, when Father Stephen Young went off on him and said, "You need to go to your bishop, tell him that I requested that you request penance," and all sorts of stuff, because he said not a single bishop teaches PSA, not a single one. They'll use a quote from a bishop of like, "Jesus Christ died for our sins." Okay, great. That doesn't prove what you're saying. The indication is not only the Trinitarian issue, right, but there's also the issue of God is not a celestial bean counter. We don't believe in that kind of God. He can forgive you for whatever he wants. He can let you go without, because when the prodigal son returns, does he say, "I got to pour my wrath on somebody. Someone's got to get it"?
No,
he prodigal son, in order for me to forgive you, go out into the field, go grab one of our goats and go beat it to death right now. Otherwise, I can't forgive you.
And not only that, he actively rejects punishing him when the other son says, "What the heck? I've been here all along and I've done nothing wrong. I've been a good son. Why would you just let him come back without punishment?" And then he says,
"Precisely.
Yeah, my son was dead, but is now alive."
We gotta acknowledge Jim Bob in the chat. Jim Bob, welcome. Thank you for coming in chat. You're welcome on the panel, by the way, Jim Bob. Just you can ask for a link, or you can click the caller link. I don't care. You don't need to. You don't need to do that, but you're more than welcome to call in. It says now he posts here. The reason we're covering Prime is because he's one of these big name Latinizer guys. And I think it's time to, sometimes I'll go through and address their stuff occasionally via live stream when they're deciding to act up, puff up their chests a bit. He says, "It's called the last judgment, not the last medical examination. You're being sentenced, not psychoanalyzed." Well, actually, to the contrary, you are being psychoanalyzed.
And sentenced. Yeah, there you go. It's not both and.
It's a both and, but also God is merciful. So God can choose not to punish you for certain sins, depending on the disposition and other factors.
He knows your heart, right?
Intercession, he can choose not to punish you for a sin based on the intercession of a saint. We have a vision of the eschaton from a saint that had a vision of a saint in heaven, and they showed the toll houses, and they showed how it operates. And you can read these now. Some people think toll houses theology is controversial. We're not getting into that. The point is that uh, the prayers of the saints can be accounted as righteousness towards you. I'm trying to learn here. Well, if you want to learn, you're more than welcome to ask, though. Now, the question about unbaptized infants. There are two acceptable views, and this is what I've been taught. Okay, so I'm not trying to like come out here and saying I'm speaking on behalf of the Orthodox Church. This is what, from my understanding, this is what I've been taught. So I'm open to correction. That being said, and Father Stephen and all the clergy that know me and have interacted with me on my channel, they're more than welcome to correct me, right, publicly. There's two essentially acceptable views. One, infants that are unbaptized are in Hades, in a pleasant part of Hades, until the final judgment, in which they will be judged for the sins that they've committed. Hence, the logical question one must ask is, what sins have they committed? What are they being punished for? And if an infant has no personal sins to be held against them, how can they be rightly condemned to eternal hellfire? And so as a result, they are allowed into paradise. Now, that gets into eschatology. We're not going to get there yet. We're just going to talk about the baseline, right? The baseline is, the assumption is that on some level, they will not suffer in Hades. Just like we know there are certain people in Hades that prior to Christ's resurrection were not suffering, right? In Abraham's bosom. So it's important to keep that in mind. The second thing, the second acceptable view is that they're in heaven because God is merciful, and God understands that God has extra normative means in which He allows people to do that. Either way, everybody, including the infants, will be bodily resurrected. Everybody. Okay? What the Latinizers' view entails is that anybody unbaptized, not in the Orthodox Church, is it's already done. They're sealed. They're damned. There's nothing we can do to help them. Okay, that's essentially what they say. Okay, here's the problem with that, guys. The problem with that is that we have dozens of examples of that not being the case, where we have literal saints who were unbaptized and prayed out of Hades. Is one example. We also have people that were unbaptized and died. And then they'll say, oh, but that's baptism by blood. Well, so what you're saying is that there's extra normative means in which God can bring you into the fullness of his life. It doesn't have to be water, right? So that's another thing that needs to be understood. The unbaptized catechumen are given full funeral rights if they were to die tragically. If me and my daughter were to go walk outside one day and we get struck by lightning, we both die. And this was during my catechism. And my bishop later finds out, let's say it's a week later, and he finds out, oh my gosh, Nikolai and my daughter Theodora passed away. He would perform full baptismal rites for us, right? Or my priest, whoever was available at the time, right?
Including unborn children, by the way. They do services for unborn children who weren't baptized as well. Funeral services. If the child is obviously, if there's something to bury. Lord of mercy. But I've been to several of those funerals.
And I want to also point out, and Father Stephen DeYoung has talked about this, the unbaptized miscarried infant, we have an entire funeral service for that.
Yes.
And it says explicitly several times in that service that they are in the presence of God. Okay? The reason you know that we don't hold this hyper-legalistic view of baptism is because our praxis does not reflect it. Jim Bob talks about this a lot. actually, and this is something I really appreciate about how Jim Bob does, is he says everything is informed by praxis. Like praxeology is very important in Orthodoxy, and it is the center of our life in the Orthodox Church. But also, praxis reflects theology. So it reflects the mindset of the church. So let's think about it this way. If the church truly believed, that there was no hope for those who were unbaptized, why on earth did they do 3 years of catechism in the early church? Why would they wait 40 days? And in some traditions, they wait up to 3 years. Why would they wait 40 days to baptize an infant? Especially in the ancient world where an infant dying early was very commonplace. Third, why would we not be doing post-death baptisms of the body of infants, which is actually a Roman Catholic practice? They used to, I don't know if they still do, but they used to go find um, miscarried parts, and they would perform a post miscarriage baptism on the children. We don't do that. That's not a practice of the Orthodox Church. Sometimes you'll have that emergency baptisms, but emergency baptism is almost always they're alive, but there's not much hope left for them, and we really need to make sure that this gets done right. But those are not as common as you'd think. So the question is, why don't we hold that practice? I'll explain it forth. If we actually believed that an infant that passes away prior to baptism is doomed to eternal hellfire, because that's what these people say. Okay? If we actually believed that, we would have mothers be giving birth in baptismal fonts.
Yeah.
There'd be no reason not to.
Or you'd wait till the last minute of someone dying and baptize them then too.
Correct.
I do want to say
here he straight up lies. Saint Dimitris Daniloi does not say this at all. He literally he lied. Several people corrected him. He hasn't taken down the post. So this is just how you know that they're dishonest.
He never will.
Me about to drop an Augustinian truth nuke, whatever that means.
Okay. Augustinianism is an ism. We don't believe in isms in the church.
Yeah, there's orthodoxy. Period.
Yeah. Like I don't like it when Roman Catholics accuse us of palimism. I'm like, palimism only exists within Roman Catholicism.
Yeah.
For us, it's just part of what we believe.
I want to point something out with his early statement where he says you'll be judged, not psychoanalyzed. I don't know if any of y'all have y'all ever been involved in sentencing in a courtroom before?
Not in a courtroom.
As an example, when you sentence in a courtroom, these things are all taken into account. You have people come up and talk about the person, friends, family members even, right, on their behalf, asking for either a more lenient sentence or, in the case of the victims, will ask for more severe sentencing. The judge is then asked to judge that person's heart and decide if they're telling the truth or not, if they really are apologetic, right, or if they're you know what I mean? Like if a good man comes up and talks to the judge and says, "Hey, this is my father. He struggled with this and that, blah, blah." The judge is asked to psychoanalyze him. So even that, I'm just saying, on that at the start of it, they've turned law into something it's not, and you can't detach it. It's not like, I'm pointing this out because it's a common misconception. Even like if you want to become a police officer, one of the first things you'll get asked on a law enforcement entry board, if you've ever done one, is if you find your mother drunk driving, right, and she's never drank before, what are you going to do as a cop? And the answer they don't want you to give is arrest her. Because they know they want you to look as a police officer. They're asking you, it doesn't always work this way, guys, but they want you to look at the totality of circumstances and say, hey, my mom doesn't drink. What's she doing out here drunk? Right? And ask these questions. So it's a very, I'm just pointing out that this is like the most childish and simplistic version of how law works. And just on that alone, and I can already debunk the whole thing just by looking at that. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Alex Horn, who knows probably more about this stuff than I do, but I've been involved in several court cases, and I've testified several times and I've heard a judge look at me and say, well, thank you for your testimony on like why you should he deserves a harsher sentence. I appreciate it. And yeah, guess what? The testimony of a good man prevaileth much in a
Yes.
courtroom too. So it's even if you are to say it's a legal imputation like they say it is, they're misrepresenting what a legal imputation is.
Yeah.
It's not like the judges go, sorry, you killed someone, I guess got to give you the death penalty.
Well, judges aren't, for better or for worse, judges aren't actually confined by
The letter of the law.
the letter of the law.
Right. But that's my point, is just to say, historically, right, if you go back further in time, it would have been a king or your local noble or an assigned judge from the local noble hearing your case. In Afghanistan, for instance, if anyone's ever been deployed, you'll go to the tribal councils, and they literally just hit each other with sticks and scream at each other. But the council is hearing their testimonies. And the point I'm getting at is it's never been without psychoanalyzing. That's my point.
Always, yeah. Well, that's why insanity pleas exist, as someone said in here. Clash.
Can you do?
So here I just I want to be clear. Prime is quite literally retarded. So I just want to make that clear.
He's basically retarded.
We won't make declarations as to the fate of adults who die outside the church, yet he thinks God is so legalistic he cannot make non-normative exceptions.
Yeah,
and this is what he was talking
that's
about.
what Protestants don't get. We don't make declarations.
Christ would not have died for us if we could be saved without baptism. That's putting necessity on God. You're saying that God literally must die in order to forgive. That's putting necessity on God.
The Council of Blackernay anathematizes the view that there is necessity in God.
Yes, and it also anathematizes by proxy exchange-based reconciliation models.
Yeah.
So anything that falls in the category of exchange-based reconciliation is anathema from Blackernay. So the question is what's exchange? What's an exchange-based model? Anything from satisfaction to PSA. It's over.
And they claim it's so this is something Calvinists will say, is that it's about the supremacy of God, right? The idea that God has the right of salvation by decree and he has no rules. The point I make is God is a just God. He gives you and explains things to you, right, as best he can, as best we can understand it. But to say basically that God just makes these things and he just can't ever make exceptions, he can never understand it.
These are
it's
the
like,
Latinizers, by the way, right here. I just want to say.
Look at him.
Well, I just not even just look at them. Just because some people have indeed been saved by baptism of blood, or even desire in some cases, but this doesn't negate the rule. There are billions burning in hell without baptism, including catechumens. Infants can be saved. We cannot assume it, nor should we claim it positively. Why not? Why can't we Why can't we say that we trust in God's infinite mercy? In his mercy. I shouldn't say infinite, but his mercy. Why can't we trust in his mercy? Why can't we trust in his wisdom that
because
God
they don't
will
trust.
judge us righteously?
I mean, and if you look at Augustine, I guess Augustine didn't really even believe the things they claim he believed, but
No.
I'm not the most hyper qualified person to talk about that. But I'll say it's a weird obsession that they have where it's essentially them saying they have a special status with God that no
I
one
always
else
like
can
my
get
own
or earn.
posts. Always cool, dude.
You
Always
gotta like
your own
them.
You
have to like your own post. A lot of
why
people
would you
do.
post it if
Why
you
would
didn't
you
like
post
it?
when you did like it?
It should have been an auto like. It should have been. And I think someone in the chat said that Jim Bob could come on as Tucker Carlson, and I could be Trump. That's a great idea. Bring him on. We'll have an interview. It'll be great.
It'd be a
Tucker,
great
I love
interview,
you,
the
Tucker.
best
We love
interview.
you.
I will say this. I do a fairly, when I can get into it, I have to like hype myself up a bit, but I do
Yes.
a pretty good like
there-
New Yorker Jew.
We can have Rabbi Shmuley, Tucker Carlson, and Donald Trump.
Are there saved people who are unbaptized? I can name 2 right now.
Name them.
New martyr Elizabeth wasn't baptized in the Orthodox Church, is a martyr in heaven. Saint Seraphim Rose wasn't baptized in the Orthodox Church, is a saint in heaven.
Oh, he was chrismated though.
But he wasn't baptized in the Orthodox Church.
If we're going to be super legalistic, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
but
name also
I
the
don't-
martyrs of Sebast.
Martyrs of Sebast.
One of them converted on the spot, was not baptized. He martyred
Oh,
immediately.
but he went to the water though. God, his magic.
They threw
only
his body
expands
into the water.
beyond the water. You see, like he has to, like it's a.
No,
it's like God loves
he
you,
undressed
but
and joined them.
Which,
in
by the
water.
way, guys, water isn't necessary either for baptism. Someone just said that. Read the Didache.
I mean, again, like there's you have these examples of, like you said, the extranormative means, and they get so wrapped around the axle. I'm like, why are you so obsessed with trying to figure out? Doesn't it seem kind of absurd? Like they use this example of you inherit the sins of your father, right? Blah blah blah. And
Listen,
I go, look,
man,
dude.
all I know is that we need to have a perfect way in which we do these things, and it's called money. All right, money has to be exchanged, otherwise there's a debt, and if there's
You
a
sound
debt,
like Redeemed Zoomer.
if there's a debt, we got to pay it off, man. I mean, how else am I going to pay for my bagels?
No, Saint Seraphim Rose was received by chrismation because at that time, Rocord deemed it appropriate to receive people by chrismation from the Episcopalians. It was before the Episcopalians went like super crazy. So
Well,
I just meant,
that's why I said you gotta
Goose
care
Tooth,
about
I want to say
your
this.
mission.
Not going to lie, Chris LaSala truly did expose J. Dar for manipulating people for cash, just as I just did to get you to say that. $5. Thank you for the $5.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you're being serious or not, but
Please
it's,
tell me you're joking. Say
that's
psych right now.
literally, say psych. Say psych.
But I mean, the list goes on and on, though. But it essentially it seems to say that God is something that, for some reason, is not very competent as a judge. Remember, a human judge has the capacity to figure out extra normative situations. Like, as a parent, and you're a parent, and I'm a parent, so I could tell you this: do you make rules for kids that aren't always applied?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to message this guy. I got a message because he said he would call in maybe on my next stream. I wonder if he's available.
Bat Sauce, yes, he was officially declared a saint. Wounded Angel, Kaiser's priest told me Christ is risen on Ascension Thursday once. So
Wait, someone say bad about me?
no,
What'd they do?
you're not supposed to say Christ is risen after the Ascension. No, it's actually after the leave taking. But Kaiser's priest told me once Christ is risen on Ascension Thursday. So get wrecked.
You took everything. I don't even know who you are. Ow! It's over. Ash did, like, when Ash said that, I literally put a thing and I said, no, his brain. We talked about this. I said Mahler has nothing. He is so dumb I can't handle it. I have patience. And Ash said exactly what I said, which is you can't talk to him. His brain is made of Swiss cheese. I was like, thank you, Ash. I'm not crazy.
So people are crashing out about Father Josiah going on Girls Gone Bible, which, by the way, has almost 1 million subscribers.
That's not a crash out. That tweet is not a crash out. That's a good,
no. This one
tweet.
is. I'm saying some people are crashing out.
Single
about it.
Orthodox men. We need more eligible women in the church. Hold my pictorial cross. I'm going to mass convert some proddies. Yeah.
Father Josiah Trim did a great job on that show.
He did. He did. I watched a little bit.
He pushed back He pushed back where it needed to push back, but he also did so in a way that was as pastoral as possible.
I also want to point this out and say to everybody, if you don't like it, suck it up. You're not his bishop. You don't have the right to tell him what he can and can't do.
By the way, his bishop I guarantee you, his bishop said, yes, you can go on Girls Gone.
I guarantee you he got permission from 2 bishops, because he had to get permission from Bishop Anthony of LA, and then probably also Metropolitan Saba.
Yeah, especially for something as big as that. That's a huge podcast. Huge.
Yeah.
And he did a great job. And again, like one of the points he makes in there that I absolutely loved was they say, it sounds like Eastern Orthodoxy is more logical than Protestantism, and Protestantism is more about like feelings and stuff. And he said, no, it's actually the opposite. And I was like, thank you. It's not. And I think Jim Bob said the same thing. And if Jim Bob's still in the chat, he said this repeatedly. It's like, it's not an intellectual assent religion. It's not like that.
But Orthodoxy gives room for both.
Well, yeah, we have these things thought out.
I want to point out something, guys, that's maybe a little bit controversial. I disagree with. This is on the timeline. All the tick. You guys, have you seen the tick posting where everyone's saying that record number of ticks everywhere, and people are saying they're everywhere? Like, what's going on?
It's a certain type of tick that's not normally in those parts of the country.
It's been spreading for years, though. That tick has been spreading across the country for years.
I like to
It's
hear that.
slow. It's been slow, but here's the thing. People are saying I can't leave the house without getting a tick on me, guys. You realize that, like, when I was a kid, there were years
That's because you're not modest enough.
we would have the Minnesota DNR. So I don't know if you guys know who the DNR is, the Department of Natural Resources
Yeah.
for Minnesota. The Department of the Minnesota DNR would certain years when I was growing up would say, "Hey, we're going to have a record tick year this year." They would tell you because they would do estimates. They would take a piece of land and then they would go around and count how many tick eggs they could find, and then they would estimate based on that piece of land how bad it is going to be that year. And they would go around and tell people, it's like, hey, guys, it's going to be a bad year for ticks. It could just be a bad year for ticks, and people are just noticing more because of social media. Everyone and their mother posts videos about, look at all the ticks everywhere. This is crazy. Guys, come on. I understand. Yes, I agree. Bill Gates could be doing stuff and doing some weird stuff. Totally understand. Here in Korea, they have a record tick year in the south, not in the north, but in the south because a new type of tick from Japan found its way over.
Do you know what would stop you from getting bit by ticks in the summer, ladies? Cover those legs. I don't want to see them.
I think you get bit by ticks.
Yeah. To be fair, the best thing you can do to ward off ticks is there's certain types of plants that are like anathema to them. You just plant those around the edge of your yard. You just literally just throw them everywhere around your yard. Throw some seeds of these types of plants, and they will ward off basically all the ticks in your area. And then also, don't kill animals that eat them. Possums, things like that.
But Nikolai, you're a Pelagian Romedian moderatist diorite.
we are part of Wixantium here. So
Wixantium.
Listen, by the way, guys, every single one of you can send the caller link to some of the Latinizers. I will be patient with them, I promise, and we can discuss why they're wrong on original sin because they don't know what they're talking about.
I will sit quietly because I don't gang up on people. But I will say, I want to point out too, like when it comes to ticks and stuff, like you said, like the best way to keep them off you, it's like at the same time, it's a lot like my Texan accent will come out if I start talking about jiggers, stuff like that. But that's why you blast your boots in the military. But even that, it has limitations. You just got to be careful. Don't be weird. Let your homie check you for ticks. Stuff like that. Don't freak out too much. I mean, yeah, I don't know how they got in your socks, but I keep thinking, of course you blast your boots, but you probably didn't.
By the way, I have no shame in calling Ethan Wayne, who is one of the most insufferable ecumenists, who hates orthodoxy, by the way. Absolutely hates orthodoxy.
Why is he orthodox?
Well, he hates orthodoxy because, why is he orthodox? So if you don't know who Ethan Wayne is, he is a seminarian at I think it's Holy Cross. I can't remember for sure though.
Wait, was he the guy who we found out was gay?
I have no idea.
On the Jay Dyer Discord, we found out he was gay.
No, he was never on the Jay Dyer Discord, I don't think. Ethan Wayne despises everything about Jay Dyer and despises Father Josiah Trenum, Father Stephen DeYoung, all the tradition. It's funny.
He'd probably hate my priest.
He hates any priest that is remotely. By the way, he anathematizes all of Rokor. Like, he thinks Rokor is an apostate church. Like, the guy's just an unhinged.
Again,
freak.
Why do I care? Is he a bishop?
Well, he's a seminarian, which is not good. Oh my lord.
A seminarian is basically a bishop, guys.
This is why we can't have these people. Guys. We're just gonna say on the timeline. This is why they can't come here. We can't let them out. We gotta let them. We can't let them into our country.
It looks like Seattle.
By the way, I just want to point out, this could be solved in 5 seconds by their actual governments if they just bothered to, 1, clean it up, and 2, actually arrest these people and punish them. They don't care. These governments don't care. And this is why, in my opinion, it's actually we should absolutely, this is, in my opinion, and I know it sounds like a
a greeny leftist or whatever, or environmental leftist. But in this case, I literally think we should designate these countries until they deal with these pollution issues and actually resolve these things. I think we should designate them eco-terrorist harboring countries. Like, this is like some of the craziest stuff I've ever
It's
seen.
not even a joke. So like in California, they're always short on water because they can't desalinate water. One, because they're dumb, and two, because the seawater outside in California is gross because Mexico just dumps their stuff straight into the ocean. And I would just point out, like, you kind of end up with what, your country kind of has what it deserves. As the great king Edward Longshanks once said, that's the problem with Scotland. It's full of Scots. And it's kind of the same way. Like, these people, their place is gross. I'm sure it's coincidence.
You guys see that Trump got shot at twice
Again.
in 2 days, in the same day, twice. Got shot at twice. You had some random dude, some black guy, exchange some shots, and then literally 4 hours later, some transgender guy shot 30 shots at Secret Service with a rifle.
But I thought Washington D.C. was the based gun-free zone.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. They've had tons of other problems. Protestants, we must continue to apply pressure on Orthodox. We are no longer under their radar. Their lives are becoming exposed. Glory to Jesus for this. Again, and I just want to point this out. Again, we are so hated. We are so hated, right? And they continuously say, oh, it's just these Orthobros, or it's just this, or it's just that, and they have weird qualifiers. Glory to Jesus for exposing orthodoxy? Really?
Well, these are the same guys that will, in one breath, say, "Hey, brother, you're a brother in Christ." Like, I believe that there are saved Orthodox people. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why are you preaching against us? If we want everybody to become Orthodox, and we have an equal amount of people that are Christian, in your view, you shouldn't have any problem with people converting to our church. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Oh, but we have mutual salvific claims. But again, and correct me if I'm wrong, has anyone in the Orthodox side been caught repeatedly saying these people are going to hell, blah, blah, blah? No, that's not what's coming up. It's just them saying,
we will definitely say your beliefs aren't Christian.
Yeah. Well, again, what we'd ask for a qualification of what they count as Christian. That's what we'd ask for. And then they get mad because they don't like to think with their brains. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, guys. This is reality. And I'm not telling you this because I hate you. And again, I make this point. I went through all of Orthodoxy and made all the logical sense. And if it wasn't for its exclusive claims, I would never have went to liturgy and actually participated. Because I would have just told myself I was fine where I was. I agree with all the right things. It has to have claims. Did Paul say, if you like Zeus a lot and you're a good person, you might go to heaven too? Oh.
I did see this. The Bolt CEO, Ryan Breslow, I don't know what Bolt is, by the way, fired the company's entire HR team because they were creating problems that didn't exist. We just guys, that means about 50 women just lost their jobs. Just want to point out.
Y'all are terrible. Y'all think it's funny. What are we going to do?
You guys think it's funny. Literally every single company I've ever worked for, when I was in contracting with the DoD, every single problem that arose, 90% of it was from female HR making stupid requirements where there wasn't any. You guys need to call into this stupid meeting where we talk about like DEI for the 30th time this year. You didn't. Why, Nikolai? Why weren't you in the call? Because I'm busy doing actual work. Oh, I guess so. You think it's okay? It's like, no. It's just like I have actual work, and then you have to sit there and talk to your supervisor. Supervisor rolls his eyes and says, "Yeah, I know, but you got to do it, man." It's like, okay, because like they can make your life a living hell. They can literally make your life a living hell.
Well, again, and they don't really protect anybody either. So if something actually happens and you're actually
need their help,
then they'll suddenly be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm losing you," and then they'll sell you out. So
they'll sell you down the river if you're too much of a problem or too much of a headache for them to actually do their job, which is to protect you, human resource. They just get rid of you.
Yeah.
Human resources is one of the worst things that ever happened to corporate America ever. It's done an
And this
immense
is a
amount of
general
damage.
statement. Anyone who's crying and saying like, I'm not like those ortho bros and all that kind of stuff. Ecumenism is denounced. This goes to the Latinizers as well. Your bishop tells you no. Even the worst of Orthodox bishops will say ecumenist things and then openly state no. They did the same thing with the Patriarch of Moscow, where they go, "Oh, you see, he's saying ecumenist things," and then he put out an open statement saying no. I was just being nice. I was just being nice.
And the Synod of Russia said that you cannot say that Muslims and Christians worship the same God.
Literally, very
he was
recently.
just being nice.
And the Synod, guess what? The Synod is above the Patriarch.
My point is that people will misunderstand that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like the whole statement of someone being a Christian.
Now,
Someone can say that.
notice here, to deny theosis as an Orthodox Christian is insane. Who is doing that? No idea.
Orthodox ensign.
Latinizers.
Is he? Is that who is doing it? Probably Ensign, frankly.
Yeah, you're on his page.
Yeah, but Ensign said to
Right
deny theosis as an Orthodox Christian is an oxymoron in a similar way as denying the atonement. What do you mean by atonement, you fool? Because satisfaction theory, ransom model, Christus Victor,
Orthodox
which is a part of ransom,
is the reason there are multiple priests that aren't on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah, they literally quit because they were like, I can't deal with this guy anymore. I think Father Borjan is one of them.
Was he like in like OCS or something? Why is he called Ensign?
I don't know.
No one knows. No
He's
one
a
knows who this guy
goober.
is. He's anonymous. He's a goober.
Oh. I think they just pick words that they think sounds cool. I'm like, what, you're going to be a butter bar soon? What are you talking about, dude?
Man, I want to be a butter bar. That's what I want for the rest of my
life. Here's why the Latinizers, and by the way, none of these
anti-Christian
Stephen DeYoung
doesn't
even use his title.
Why don't you say that to his face?
This is how you know he's not Orthodox, by the way, because no Orthodox person should be not using their proper title, first off. Second off, calling someone anti-Christian who has not been anathematized by the church or excommunicated, etc., by their bishop is still in good standing.
God only punishes sin once. Means you can murder someone with impunity if your priest tells you to.
That's not what he said, but let's give it a listen to and see what these guys have to say. They're just liars.
St. Silouan said God only punishes sin once. So if your spiritual father tells you to kill someone, go do it. Your spiritual father will go to hell for murder, not you. And then they just stare at me. But
clearly a joke, laughing.
But yeah, we get all just this huge push, and it's always like, well, what about St. Maximus? What about St. Stephen the New? Right? Their bishops were heretical and they disobeyed. Here's the point. They were saints first.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
St. Silouan.
Yeah, this is about obedience. Something Orthodox ensign probably knows nothing about.
I will also point out that this, as it was obviously meant to be like an exaggeration, a hyperbolic statement, which, by the way, many people make. But to be more clear, this is how a just judgment would be carried out in any fair situation. If your kid does what you tell them to, you as the parent are held accountable for what the child did because you're supposed to be expected to tell them the truth and guide them in righteousness. Ding, 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 ding. Wow, this is so hard to grasp because I'm an idiot.
He's now pushing Christ's vicarious satisfaction. Guys, vicarious satisfaction is the Lutheran model of atonement. Not the same as PSA. They actually are exclusive from each other. He pushes PSA in one breath, and then he says vicarious satisfaction in the next.
Can you identify someone who is an orthobro? That's the question we have, Astar. Are you saying who specifically is this orthobro, and how are they affecting the faith? If you need to tell Father Ivanov as well, because Father Ivanov thinks you're full of it too. So, and I'm actually obedient to my priests. So.
Someone says, Lord of Mercy. Let's see what these people have to say. Someone says, Father, shut up, Anon, you're not Christian, nor do you know the gospel. You subversive. I can't see what he says because he
Who's
has
your
me
priest?
blocked.
Yeah, who's your priest?
So I have to do this. See, now look what he does. He defaults to quote mines. That's all he does.
Yeah,
Because these people don't have the ability to rationalize their thoughts themselves. They have to read out of context quote mines to try and justify their
I gotta be
someone
honest,
says, who is your
this is Protestant private judgment is Latin clericalism.
This is one of the infamous Latinizers on here who is one of the most smarmy people on the internet and is a coward and will not come in and debate these issues. Actually,
who is your bishop?
Again,
I'll never
who's your bishop?
answer. I'll say who my bishop is. It's Bishop Anthony of LA, and my metropolitan is Metropolitan Saba.
and I just asked you to identify someone specifically who you're claiming is an orthobro, so that we can see if your definition matches it. The reason why I said you can come up with a definition, but if you can't name someone who fulfills that definition, it means nothing to me. It is just a word. I could say you write someone who's on the internet and is mean, basically. I don't know if I need to tell people this, but everyone on the internet's this way.
Did you have to pay? Did you have to pay him $1,000 for that business and spiritual advising?
Oh, I really should. We should just gather the money and do it just to see what it's like. My thing is, the guy shows up wearing like a T-shirt, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna storm out.
I don't know why they keep bringing up Father Daniel Sisoya. He's a martyr.
He's a martyr. He's not. He was not martyred. He was not a theologian.
Yeah.
He was a church priest who had a lot of polemics against Islam, and an Islamic person came into his church and killed him, making him a martyr.
The bros are actually women.
Somebody who was related to somebody who he converted.
So notice how he will not answer. Is there any difference between what John Calvin taught and what the saints taught? Genuinely clear. Never seen it explained. And he says, I recommend perusing my post and seeing for yourself. So he won't answer.
Smiley face. Wow, what a coward.
Yeah. Somebody's furiously messaging you, Nikolai.
Who? I better check that on. I won't check because you never know. Some people could be like spamming the N-word at me.
You're like, what is this?
Let me find a question in the.
I'm still waiting for the example of someone who is an ortho.
Yeah,
bro.
we're looking for
specific.
I get called an ortho bro. I'm
considered an ortho bro as well, so don't feel too bad. But I'm looking for specific, like especially famous people. Like, is it just Jay Dyer because he be mean and he make me cry when he beat me in debate, or is it?
And like, Jay Dyer goes to church.
Yeah, it's well known.
I have him on video going to church.
Yes, I will.
And to be clear, I'm not.
By the way, guys, I've been to Jay's church. I've spoken with his spiritual father and his priest.
And this is what makes.
I know he goes to church. I know he confesses. I know these things. Jay's a good guy.
This is what makes us different than other groups, right? We submit to our spiritual authorities. Okay. So it may come as a shock, but the reason why the bishops and all these people aren't coming down hard on Jay Dyer is because they don't disagree with him.
No, and here's another point that I always want to make.
Or they have no authority to do.
It's that too, but also another reason they don't come down on him is that whenever I just ask these people that hate Jay and just say Jay's teaching bad things. Okay, what is he teaching that's wrong? Oh, conspiracy slap. That's not theology. Please tell me what theological position or thing that he is going around and expositing is wrong.
Is this guy joking? I'm sorry. They're unironically, they're honestly saying that. I'm just saying again. Have y'all ever heard the song "Pay Piggy"? Jay Dyer made a song called "Pay Piggy." I don't know why you don't just post that. Why don't you just post that? Look, he admits it. He admits it. Give me one more super chat. Pay Piggy. Anytime you use Christ as an alt-right puppet. So are you suggesting that if you're right-wing, or let's say right of Stalin, which is what my assumption would be, you're automatically grifting?
Anytime you use Christ as an alt-right puppet and Hammer, you're acting like a orthobro. Who says Christ is an alt-right puppet?
This is
But
why
I
we're
know
asking
most
for
of you aren't
specifics.
actually orthobros in the negative sense. Don't
Like
worry.
with the Latinizers, we can point at Latinizers.
We can
I can
name
point
them.
and I can show you. I can name them. I can give you examples of them. But I'm like, when I ask about orthobros, it's always this like amorphous.
I can't point out an orthobro.
Like there's obviously the colloquial sense. I know that word scares JP. JP's a little scared of the word colloquial. He gets very concerned.
Colloquialque.
But
so here's another problem. The reason God died for
Colloquialque?
us was because it was impossible for any man to be saved unless God died for us. We needed to a God put to death that we might live.
Latinizer infighting. Woo, let's go.
Bro, you have a search history.
These people, I mean, like most of what he has to say is just like, let me just spam. Notice how they never answer the question. It's always, here's a quote that completely is out of context that I have no idea where the source is from, that you crafted in AI to try and make it seem like you have more legitimacy than you not. And see, look at what they do. Well, let's just start with this one.
It was necessary.
So, and someone says, it's like our legal system can only try and convict you once for the same crime. It was necessary that sin should be abolished by some penalty, and that we, by paying a just penalty, by paying a just penalty, should be cleared of indictment of the sins in which we have committed against God. He who has been punished for the things in which he has committed will not be called into account for them again. But among men there is no one who, himself being guiltless, might have suffered for others. Since no one could have sufficed for himself, even the whole race could have died 10,000 times unable to pay the penalty it deserved. What fitting penalty could have most wretched slave undergone, utterly destroyed the image of the king, and acted completely blah, blah, blah. It was for this reason the master who is without sin suffered many things and dies and endures the blow. Okay, that's
Nikolai,
called death.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're gonna read something, it needs to be further up, or else it's behind all of our pictures.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Asara landed.
Let me just move us to the side here. There we go.
That much better. I wanted to say that like 3 streams ago, but
Ooh, someone said bingo.
uh-oh, bingo. BINGO.
The wage of sin is death. Sin pays death. The Father did not punish his perfect Son. You can use punishment language, but it doesn't necessarily mean it in the way that people often understand that. Christ.
Oh, why? Okay. Deus Soya wasn't a monk, was he?
No.
So he's not a hieromartyr.
He might have been. I don't know.
I am pretty sure he was married.
Again, we don't even have.
Let me look it up.
They aren't popes. They make one point. Even if they did say these things, that's what gets me. Like, even if they did say these things, does your bishop say these things? If not, you're in your own church and you just read. It's what is it? Someone made the joke.
He was married. Yes.
Yeah. So he's not. He can't be a hieromartyr.
His widow, Machushka Julia Sosoyevia, has since shared her personal reflections on his life and ministry.
What?
J is mean.
So let's just read it just for sake of seeing what he has to say. Anyone who rejects faith in Christ's atonement. What is Christ's atonement? That's what's in question. Okay? What's in question is what is the model of atonement? Is not a Christian in any sense. Okay? What model of atonement? Anyone who does not believe that Jesus is the Christ who took upon himself our sins, and who does not believe that Christ drank the cup of God's wrath. What does that mean? That's doing a lot of work right there. Wrath. What do you mean by wrath? And who does not believe that the ransom theory of atonement is not PSA, you utter tard. Jesus Christ took our punishment upon himself. The innocent who died in the place of the guilty. The righteous who died in the place of us sinners. Such a person is not a Christian. These are very basic. ... By the way, every time you see 3 dots or whatever else, that is a
ellipses.
summary. They're cutting out context. These are very basic. What's very basic? Blank. Then it immediately jumps to, therefore, those who do not believe that Jesus is the Redeemer, who truly ransomed us from God's righteous wrath. What is the wrath? And deem these to be considerate words for uncouth people. These people contradict the Lord Jesus Christ and the entire gospel. That is a meaning. That entire statement does no work for them.
Because you see when they put the ellipses in the middle there, the ... that was when it actually explained what he meant by it, and then they skipped to the end of what the guy was writing.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to point out that this is also AI translated from Russian.
Can I also point out that it's also very disruptive framing when you are like, oh, he's a Hiram martyr, and you put a halo around his head and you give him an icon. It's like, this is...
And it's not even an icon of him. This is like one of Christ, but like altered with like AI or something like that, because that is not...
No, that's Christ's face on another priest's body.
Yes, so let me show you Father Daniel Sostoyev.
Yeah.
We can look him up real quick. Like, that's not what he looked like at all. This...
And do you want to know something? When they do his icons, because he is going to be canonized one day, he will have glasses on.
They've already canonized him as a martyr in the Russian church.
Yeah, he's a martyr, because martyrs are hard to not see. But
yes.
He's not on
That's an actual icon of him.
He's not on any calendars.
No, not even the Russian calendar yet.
Yeah.
Right
I think
here.
is that... Wait, is
you notice
star
actually... You kind of see the difference there, guys? You can kind of see the difference? There seems to be a distinct difference. He also had glasses, so even this is not 100% accurate.
I can define dog whistle, by the way. Can you give me someone who is an orthobro, please?
Yes, we're still waiting for...
We're still waiting for the
orthobro.
exact orthobro and what they said specifically or did that actually makes them an orthobro.
I mean,
guys, we have 71. Guys, we have 71 people in chat. If any of you guys want to call in and ask a question, it doesn't need to be on topic. Preferably on topic, but doesn't need to be. You can call in.
If you want to talk about Warhammer.
Yeah, if you want to. Well, yeah, really anything. But if you want to talk about any kind of theology, any questions, anything like that, feel free to call in. If you want to ask a specific question and me notice it in the chat, you can always super chat, or you can again send. We will be reading through any PayPal donations in as well at the end. So. Someone says you're shifting the burden of proof. It's not our burden. You're the one making the claim.
I'm asking for... You gave a definition. I'm saying, can you name someone who is that? And what they did specifically that is. Because I'm not asking for a burden. That's not a burden proof shifting. That's me still asking you for your criteria of what you consider.
Here's another problem. Right here. God doesn't need anything. Okay, so he doesn't need to die to forgive us, but he is just. That's what's in question too. What do we mean by justice? What do we mean by justice, guys? That's what's in question.
Can I make a point of contention about what's going on in the side chat real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alt-right, is anybody right of Bill Clinton?
I was going to say right of Stalin, but yeah, Bill Clinton works too.
Yeah, it is...
Considering even Stalin had some moral
it is such a nebulous term, and I realized that when it was like first getting spewed out in 2015.
Wait, yes. Subsister 89, name it. Let's hear it.
Please, yes. Tell us. Tell us who it is, so we can then use that as a metric to compare all other accusations of orthobroism. See, that's what's useful. If you can point us to a definition and then give an example of that, then we have some concreteness to it, and we can then say, okay, did this person meet to that level of that person? Right? There's actually a concrete reality to it. Just saying that there's this amorphous problem of orthobro.
If this is somebody at your church, you'd have to talk to your priest about it. I will say that.
And I made this point the first time, and I'm going to say it again. Young men are young men. They've always been young men. If anyone in the military knows this, anyone who has to mentor young men knows this. They all have to be trained. Everyone does. That's part of growing up. That's part of being a man. Okay.
Yes,
So
there's
if
a
you're
reason they
mad that
go.
someone like, because you got like young dudes going to your church and being hyped to go to church. Oh, the agony, please. Oh, they're happy to be here and they're super excited. Oh, no,
They're helping me
please.
move chairs and clean up after
No.
coffee hour. Oh no. They're volunteering to mow the lawn and weed the garden. These horrible
Oh, there's
men.
28 likes, by the way, not 7. Bill wants to reduce border crossing, so he's far right.
28 likes, 71 people, and only 7 likes. It's actually. Oh, I think
It's like
it might be
28
more than
likes. At last I checked. I drink water. Trump drinks water. I guess I am all right. Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
and
That's true.
actually,
I'm
ortho
just
bro
clarifying.
and
Is my
alt-right
Trump impression bad?
are-
Is it bad?
are
I was
both
always told
extremely
it good.
nebulous terms
Trump, I drink water. Trump drinks water. Blah, blah,
to the
blah.
point where they're almost useless.
So you want a perfect example? That's all I'm asking for. I didn't ask for a perfect example. I just asked for your example. Like if you asked me to define, Nikolai defined what a Latinizer was. Then he showed you an example of a Latinizer and things Latinizers say. Now this person is an anonymous account, but we do know for a fact that this anonymous account does
Listen,
exist.
you guys can call in if you feel like you can, if you want to debate the whole ortho bro phenomenon. In fact, here guys, why don't you do this? Share this link, share the caller link, so you guys can copy and paste the caller link. I'll even do it again for posterity's sake. You guys can just
We need 7
take
figures.
that. There you go. You can take the link. You can spread it around to everybody. All of the Protestant bros, JP Uncut, Mahler, all of them. They can call in. We'll have a totally reasonable conversation, and try and work this out. But as far as I'm concerned, if someone's just going to
Don't
throw
fall for it.
accusations around, I'm just not interested in doing that. So we're going to read through Tony Acosta. Tony Costa. I always
Okay.
say Acosta, but it's Costa.
No,
Tony Costa.
I will say he's probably not going to say anything different than what he said on a radio show and Perry Robinson reviewed his claims like
He did.
years ago, and nothing's changed. For Tony
No, he's recycled the same arguments for 10 years now. Because I remember watching a video of his almost 10 years ago when I first started coming into
Can we
Orthodoxy.
acknowledge Subsister who said my Trump is bad? So but she did say that orthobro is people who are super based, like Jim Bob. That's the best definition of orthobro I've heard so far.
Super based like Jim Bob.
So if anybody thinks my reaction to this seems familiar, it's because I've watched that Perry Robinson video like 20 times.
Yeah. So let's
very
go
good.
ahead.
It's very good. Recommended.
Okay, so the Eastern Orthodox Church, like the Roman Catholic Church and others, claims to be the original and true visible church that was founded by Jesus Christ and its apostles. It claims to be the... Well, sorry?
Roman Catholic Church does not claim to be the original church anymore. So already a lie.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but we'll get through this. And the Church of the Church Fathers, it claims to be the one and only true church over all the institutional churches. Indeed, it anathematizes any and all who are not within its ecclesiastical communion. That's not what an anathematization is. An anathematization is putting up the borders, and then those in the church are anathematized.
The railings on the boat.
Yes. That whoever does not confess with heart and mouth that he is a child of the Eastern Church, baptized in Orthodox style, and the Holy Spirit proceeds out of only the Father, essentially and hypostatically, as Christ says in the Gospel, shall be outside of the church and shall be anathematized. This means that the Roman Catholic Protestants are considered heretics. Yes, they are. Thrown into the same category as Arians and Gnostics. Well, they're slightly better than those, but I would say a lot of Protestants actually do fall into these camps.
Well,
Arian and
Protestants are Gnostics when it comes to ecclesiology.
Yes. This is what Saint Justin Popovic.
Justin Popovic.
Yes, one of the most respected Orthodox theologians of the 20th century writes. From time to time, heretics and schismatics have cut themselves off and fallen away from the one divisible Church of Christ, Eastern Orthodox Church, whereby they cease to be members of the Church and part of the theanthropic body. Yeah, that's one of my favorite words on this channel, guys. Theanthropic body of Christ.
This is a beautiful quote.
The first to fall away, thus, were the Gnostics, then the Arians, and then the Macedonians, and then the Monophysites, and then the Iconoclasts, then etc., Roman Catholics and Protestants. Well, the Protestants didn't split from us, to be fair.
Yeah.
Then the Uniates and so on, all the members of the Legion of Heretics and Schismatics. Okay. Yeah, I mean, beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. Love it.
No, Saint Yusuf Popovic. Just a quick aside for his backstory. He was a priest monk in Serbia during the oppression of the Serbs by Yugoslavia.
Yeah. On
So-
the Sunday of Orthodoxy, a holy day in the East liturgical calendar, many Orthodox congregations, a series of anathemas are read out by the priest, which the congregation responds with anathema. Anathema 18 reads the following: by the way, I got copyright claimed over that video we played. Ridiculous. I had to cut it out from the live stream in
That's
order to
one of
get it
my favorite
monetized.
videos. Oh.
I don't understand who owns the copyright to that.
So if I put that on
it's
a
just a
soundboard,
liturgical service.
if I put
It's
that on a
just a
soundboard and compress like anathema, do you think that would ping into
I
copyright?
think it's because we played too much of it.
Oh.
But here's the thing: how do you own the audio clip of an anathema service? I don't understand
so
how one can
bizarre.
copyright that. To Martin Luther, John Calvin, it probably is just automated, honestly. But to Martin Luther, John Calvin, Yorick Zwingli, Henry VIII, the ungodly king, and to those assembled together with them, and to all Protestant groups, anathema. Eastern Orthodoxy stated in no uncertain terms how they view Protestants. Yes, I'm glad that we could establish very quickly great.
We got a good definition here of orthobro again. It says I will needlessly ask my. It says sorry. Orthobro as a being says I have the superior sect of Christ. That's kind of in the we're the one true Catholic and Apostolic Church, right?
You mean that's literally what every single Orthodox person is going to ask about your epistemology and your ecclesiology and your soteriology? Like those
It's
are the
because we're
three
smarter.
things. Like we're gonna ask those questions every time.
Do you remember what Cleve said? He said he was he's like an S tier apologist in Protestantism. He moves over to Orthodox and he drops to B or C. He's like, all these catechumens are as smart as I am.
Yeah. To claim to antiquity as the original church is one thing. To prove it is quite another. Eastern Orthodox apologists can appeal to the fact that their church is very old, but the argument from age is a logical fallacy. That's not really what our argument is. It's continuity, consistency, and coherency. The fact that we're very old and go back to the origins of the church is just to point out that we have those three things. So this is just a fallacy. Like unironically, he's making a fallacy by accusing us of being fallacious. Truth is not predicated on how old something is. Okay, great. Other groups like Judaizers and Gnostics are very ancient. Even going back to the apostolic times in the first century. Indeed, both Gnostics and Judaizers have been around since the New Testament was written. Paul confronted the Judaizers in Galatians and the proto-Gnostics in Colossians, while the Apostle John had to denounce the same Gnostics. By the way, the Gnostics have existed prior to the New Testament. Gnostic beliefs are not new to Christianity. Were not like invented because of Christianity. The Gnostics have been around for a very long time. While the Judaizer Gnostics can claim pedigree of an antiquity, even living in the time of the apostles, it does not follow that they were correct. Okay, yeah, great, got it. Let's get to the actual arguments, please. In terms of theology, the evangelical Christians join with the Eastern Orthodox Church in affirming the fundamental doctrines of Christianity, such as the Trinity. No, you don't, because it's not the correct Trinity.
No.
It doesn't have the deity of Christ. We would even probably dispute that some of you even have a proper understanding of Christology, frankly, including his incarnation, virgin birth, sinless life, death and resurrection, and second advent. Okay. So the only part that we can maybe 100% agree with was the second part, right here. One of the significant differences is that Eastern Orthodoxy has the Western Christianity is the question of the procession of the Holy Spirit. Eastern Orthodoxy claims the Spirit proceeds only from the Father. The Western churches affirm a dual procession. The Spirit proceeds from both the Father and the Son. Okay, we get it. The issue of the Filioque is taken by the Eastern Orthodox as a serious theological breach and one that they have denounced as a heresy and a serious impediment to any possible reconciliation with Western Christendom. This debate remains unabated. Okay, got it. Dude, we don't need all of the history of it. Just give us what... I would like to stress that despite the ongoing debate, both Western and Eastern Christendom unequivocally affirm the Trinity. That's what's in question.
Again,
the Filioque puts their view of the Trinity in question.
Should we get a
That-
whiteboard and we just tally the fallacies as we go down the form? You think?
Yeah, we probably should. Somebody get a whiteboard.
Oh, I have one somewhere.
It's Costa. Counterdocs. It's Costa. So, okay, so first off, he just basically summarized where the debate is, but doesn't actually get into, okay, maybe can we get to where he actually maybe disagrees with us? Like,
When was this written?
Very recently.
So it was probably written by AI. Why don't you just put in AI and say, explain all the fallacies?
Actually, probably could. It was written.
Oh, yeah, about 2 weeks ago?
A little less than 2
12
weeks.
days, yeah.
So...
Is this guy claiming to be Orthodox?
No, he's one of our biggest, like, opposition.
Oh. I don't know if
While we do agree on the Bible as the God's word, it should be noted that we disagree with the Eastern Orthodox on the canon of the Old Testament. We also disagree with the New Testament canon. We have more even in our New Testament. Matthew, we have extra verses in Matthew. While we do agree with the Bible's word, evangelicals accept 39 books of the Old Testament, which are the same books, although differently numbered, contained in the Hebrew Bible. While Eastern Orthodox accept 39 books of the Old Testament found in the Protestant Bibles, they do accept additional books as the canonical and therefore scripture, which evangelicals view such books as part of the Apocrypha. There is a disparity in the number of books in the Old Testament according to blah, blah, blah. In terms of the Old Testament canon, the Eastern Orthodox Church has 52 books. The Roman Catholic Church has 46 books. Okay, yeah, is he just going to, like, lay out, like, our differences here? This was supposed to be a polemic against us. That's what it was sold.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on.
Among the propositions that this is where it's going to get spicy, guaranteed. Eastern Orthodox hold to that are rejected by evangelicals is their view of Mary as a portal to heaven.
What? Wait, what? Hold on. Did he mix up icons and Mary? Hold on. I want to read this. She, Mary, alone forms the boundaries between created and uncreated nature, and no one can come to God except through her, as the mediator born of her. And none of God's gifts can be bestowed on angels or men except through her. So it is beyond the reach of all to look upwards to God or be helped by Him to make progress in any direction except through the ever Virgin. I think he says it. Doesn't he qualify it right there? Except through her and the mediator born of her. Does that mean he's
dumb? That's not our. First off, that's not our position. Okay, I just want to, like, straight up say right off the bat, I'm sorry, I died slightly, guys, and in order for me to get back up, you need to grift me some money so I can get up.
Well,
never mind.
I need to know if my Trump is good or not, because I can start I can make it to where, like, it's extortion. You have to pay Nikolai money, or I keep talking like Trump, or I can start talking like Trump if you raise enough money. Just depends on what you all prefer. But I want to point out there's an ellipses right there. Again, what a shock. There's an ellipses because it says right there, and you'll notice it says, and no one can come to God except through her and the mediator born of her. And none of God's gifts can be bestowed on angels or men except through her. Ellipses. What else did he say there? Because that's kind of a significant qualifier, because he's talking about Jesus Christ, and the mediator born of her is Jesus, right?
Yes.
So what are you trying to? Are you just quote mining again?
Some language in prayers rendered to Mary is so extolling that it ellipses the centrality of Christ as the sole mediator. That's just, that's the classic. That's just, like, your opinion, bro. It's like that's just incredulity fallacy. Savior of the world. Here is the example of an Eastern Orthodox liturgical prayer. The doors of caring do not open unto us, O most blessed Theotokos, so that hoping in you we shall not fail. Through you we may be delivered from our adversaries, for you are the salvation of the Christian faith. Yes, because through her, guess what happened? Christ came.
That's what I said. And there's
other prayers to Mary attribute titles to her that are unique to Christ alone. Mary is acceptable sacrifice. Well, can you please give us a source?
I've never heard that before.
I've never heard that before, but maybe it's just out of context.
Or
through-
mistranslation.
could be that too. The
Do
Iwi
cry to Mother
lamb.
Bear on Friday night. Yes, we do.
Am I Rafa? Am I missing something? Iwi lamb. I've never heard that term either.
Is that like is that the
Without spot, the dove without blemish. She had a body that was never subject to the taint of sin. Yes, she suffered from the taint of sin. We hold that she suffered the blameless passions, like the passions, just like anyone else. She just didn't personally sin.
You know how we know that? Because she died.
Yes, she had a body that was never. By the way, that's another debunk for the Latinizers, is that the Mary having died and wasn't immaculate. The necessity for immaculate conception from the Roman Catholic view actually necessitates Augustinian original sin, whereas our view doesn't, because we don't believe that she was already tainted. The Orthodox faithfully sing to her, "Through you we've been reconciled with God." Yes, through you. And what came through her?
Again, it says right there where he puts the ellipses, and he does it on purpose because he's trying to undermine what he's trying to say. He says right there that he's talking about, and the mediator that came through her. I can't. I just don't get it.
The title given to Mary, Theotokos, which was God-bearer or Mother of God, was never intended to exalt her the way that Orthodox does. Actually, we have prayers. Yeah, please tell us, because we have prayers predating the council where she was given the title Theotokos to her.
Well, he's a historian. There you go. There's your answer.
All three words Christological. Okay, got it. Related to this is the veneration of Mary and the saints. Gosh, this is so boring. Guys, I don't know why we do this to ourselves with these prot slops. It's just so bad. Some Orthodox apologists attempt to argue that archaeological discoveries of the old church as a 3rd century Christian house converted to a church in Duros, Europa, Syria, that bear images on their walls, include the catacombs in Rome, support their position that it's not just that, it's also this from the scriptures.
The problem here is that the paintings in Dura Europos and the catacombs of Rome are scenes from biblical stories, like all icons or existing saints and things like that, not images made to worship.
No one's worshiping it. Oh my gosh. So
worship
okay.
through.
I don't know how many times. So we can say we're not worshiping the images. So someone says, "Are you worshiping them?" No. But you're worshiping them. What did I just say? That's what they do. It's like, oh, you guys are worshiping icons. No, that's not what we're doing. We're not worshiping icons. And then he goes on to say, but you're worshiping icons. Welcome to the chat, Counterdocs. We got Jay White Hernandez again.
Who is he?
He's my buddy. He's calling in. What's up, brother?
Howdy. How's it going?
Going good. You said you wanted to discuss, is it Nestorian as PSA?
No, Warhammer is as Nestorian as PSA. So it was just a play on what I heard earlier about you letting me go on to talk about another subject. But no, the irony is...
how is Warhammer attached to Nestorianism? And are you speaking of... I need your epistemological framework here. Are you talking about Warhammer 40,000?
Yeah, Warhammer.
Are you talking about Warhammer Fantasy?
Warhammer 40,000 is Nestorian. Warhammer Fantasy is adoptionist.
Okay, so what if they play as Bretonia in Warhammer Fantasy?
That is, what do you call it? Don't know about Bretonia. The adoptionism in Warhammer Fantasy is essentially Sigmar, who's a human being who becomes deified as a god. So that's
true.
Yeah.
It's Theosis. I'm just kidding. It's a polytheist.
Yeah.
So anyways, joking aside, do you is there something specifically you want us to cover? Because we can honestly, this is such bad prot slop. I'm about ready to throw up.
It's all you're going to see, especially from the evangelical sphere. I mean, it's Father Stephen Young pointed out that evangelicalism is not really a way of life, and that's very true. And you can even see this in terms of how
it's a relationship, not a religion. That's the exact quote, and they themselves use that quote.
Yep, but you can even see this in terms of the expansion of evangelicalism in Latin America. I knew because my dad was a restorationist minister.
Forgive me. My aunt is one of the people spreading evangelicalism in South America. So
Yep, I know. My own family is too. So it's
sorry.
Yeah, right after Vatican II, my entire actually both sides of the family essentially almost all left Rome. So I mean, what do you call it? I mean, the good thing that came out of it is myself and one of my other cousins who were like the heirs of our respective sides of the family entered Orthodoxy, so that worked out.
Well, I actually, can I ask you a question? You
Sure.
said after Vatican II. I think that's a good point to make, because I made this point earlier, like that the exclusivity claims actually bring people to Orthodoxy, because if you don't have an exclusivity claim, then why bother going? So your family gets Vatican II, and they're like, you know what? If everyone's worshiping the same God, I may as well be an evangelical then.
Yes, but there's also a deeper issue. So my grandfather, the one I'm named after, he was a communist in his youth, and then he got as a young man, he got to see the Bogotazo up close and personal. So he got to see about 250,000 people massacred in like 5 days.
Lord of mercy.
Yep. So that kind of that changes one's perception of what is Marxism in reality. Yeah, so he essentially is his own long form of penance. He was a rags to riches guy, very successful civil engineer. He was the guy who connected Bogota with to the coast via rail. So you got to be good at math if you're going to be designing a railway to go through the Andes Mountains. It's like 8,500 something feet. But he used his wealth to repair and rebuild cathedrals and churches that were destroyed by the FARC during the Civil War. And then it was in the 70s, essentially, where there was I forget if it was I believe it was a clown mass of some kind that was done in one of the cathedrals that he had put money into and rebuilding. And in the words of my dad, he went from being a happy Hispanic Catholic to being a depressed Irish Catholic overnight. And that was actually his, that's how he was the rest of his life. And that's how I remember him. And all of his children left Rome. So.
Again, the exclusivity claim is important.
Say that again?
I was just saying, if you have no exclusivity claims, why bother being part of it? Same thing about JP and Mahler, just like all these other people. They say, no, it's so mean that you say that we're not Christians like you. And okay, well, if you think we are Christians and we think you're not, who cares what we think? If you think we're all just
honestly, it's a Pascal, unironically, I think Pascal's wager is actually a bad argument, generally speaking. In a general sense. So for some people it's convincing, but Pascal's wager just generally. But in this case, I think Pascal's wager actually works for us. Yes. Because they claim, oh, we're brothers in Christ. You guys are totally fine if you're Orthodox, but I just don't like the fact that you guys proselytize towards us. And I could just say, well, actually, if anything, you guys should use Pascal's wager and just say, hey, listen, if you guys think we're right, but we think you're wrong, then you should just become us so that you cover both bases.
Yep.
You know what's funny, Nikolai? Because I watched that claim. By the way, I just moderated a debate a few hours ago. The Catholic came on and said Muslims can be saved without knowing the Father. So which is not surprising. But the whole thing why Mahler and JP are mad is because they think we're horrible for saying that they're not saved. Well, first of all, nobody said that.
Yeah, I've said all that. We don't make those claims.
But the thing is, if you have guarantee, why does it matter what we say? It's why is it why does it matter so much to you that we have to say you're saved? What the hell, dude?
They're paranoid. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, if you take from the Calvinist angle, because American evangelicalism is heavily influenced by Puritanism, and my dad was a diehard Puritanophile, so I had lots of books on Puritanism up on my wall when I was growing up. So, but in a nutshell, you have that Calvinist concept.
I know you're thinking.
You get the Calvinist concept of prescient grace. So the idea that you could appear to be saved but not be saved, and that essentially just generates sheer living terror in the mind of a Calvinist who's actually in a church that follows actual Calvinistic systemic practice or theology. But this also carries over to those who pick and choose from Calvinism, like your typical Reformed Baptist. So they don't really as much as they talk about they're assured about, for example, I was having this conversation with a woman recently.
Wait, Father Ron's on here.
He is?
Yeah. Orthodoxy. Father Ron. I love you, Father Ron.
Thank you, Father Ron, for coming in. You're more than welcome to.
Yep.
Come on, anytime.
And I
Anyways, continue with what you're saying.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no problem. Like I was talking to a Reformed Baptist lady recently because she had questions about iconography, and then for some reason she just kept bringing up like, you can't shake my assurance of salvation. And I said, lady, you've said this 3 times now, and I've never touched salvation. So, I don't think you're that as assured as you claim to be if you keep bringing that up.
You should have said, guess what I just did.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
We don't make these claims, and I don't understand. They're so obsessed with bringing it up constantly. It's like they pull a gun on you, like, say I'm saved right now. Say I'm saved right now. It's like, I'm not the judge of this.
It's an anxiety-based thing. And I can tell you this from my background. The fact of the matter is that most of these people have an immense amount of anxiety about the status, their status, because for them, salvation is not like they say it's a relationship, but it really isn't. It's a legal status
by decree, like
it's
they say,
salvation by decree,
and you have no power over it. You have no chance. You're not cooperating in it. You get sucked in. The Holy Spirit does it or it doesn't. Nothing you do affects it, because even if you leave the church and come back, well, you're always supposed to do that. It is a very odd perspective, you could say.
Yeah. We're about to go over the Ruslan stuff.
God. Here we go.
Because
I just want to say that Andrew Wilson, when he corrected that meme, it was actually a really good correction. That's immediately what I thought. And Father Stephen DeYoung said the same thing. It'd be like if you plugged in gasoline.
I didn't even...
My favorite question to ask Protestants is which God?
Yeah.
Again, we have these... and they came up earlier where they're saying, oh, you're just making epistemological questions, because I don't know what you mean. So when I'm asking you, like, hey, what do you mean by saved? What do you mean by salvation? These things, I'm not asking them to be facetious. I actually want to know what you mean by them, because we don't make individual saved claims.
Yeah, I mean, no one is gonna. Well, actually, what we can say this is that we can say that if you are obstinate in certain beliefs,
yes,
you are endangering your soul, right? You're endangering your soul at the final judgment. Now, does that mean we're going to know how God is specifically going to judge you as the individual? Though the question is do a little bit of self-reflection. Do you believe these things are anathema? And then they say, I mean, like, it's like these people don't want to self-reflect at all.
What they do is they take, clips, for example, Father Paul Trubenbach, right, says that, because he answered, what about all the Christians that are non-Orthodox? He said the church acknowledged their genuine attempt to seek a relationship with God. That's all he says. And these people take these clips. Oh, there you go. We're Christians. We're all Christians.
Yeah, and that's not what Father Paul is saying at all.
I guarantee you, if you ask Father Paul or like all the Protestants in the church, that he will absolutely 100% say no.
Well, and someone points this out. Orthodoxy promotes ecclesial anxiety. Prots who are riddled with ecclesial anxiety, yes. That's 100% correct, because the simple reality is it's a relationship. If it's a relationship with God and there's nothing else going on there, why are you so caught up and obsessed with who's saved and who isn't saved, or if you're saved or not? Why does it matter to you? I don't, like, can you imagine putting that? No wonder they're going crazy. You're putting all that weight on your own shoulders. Can you imagine constantly obsessing over who's going to heaven and who's not? Like that has anything to do with your salvation or your relationship with God? The only thing, you should start worrying about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the thing, that you're never going to get away from this sort of like hyper anxiety from these people. Guys, I just got emailed from an Indian saying there was an exciting opportunity. Should I click the link?
You should.
I don't know, dude.
Or as Indian or American,
dude.
I
don't know about that, bro.
But his name is Robinson Garusev A.
Yeah, I mean, you can make that call here.
Let's see if you have any discernment, any wisdom.
Sorry, I had to go for a second. I had to receive wisdom and guidance from my Serbian landlord.
Oh God.
Serbians have wise sayings. I'll never forget sitting in a war crime class, and they said, like, the things that happened in Yugoslavia, and he said, do you get angry at an exterminator for what he does to a cockroach? I'm like, Serbians, no!
You know what? Maybe I should call back into Sam Shamoon. And no. And when he asked me, can you show me
Son
a
of the
bigger
devil.
miracle in Orthodoxy? I'm going to ask him, can you show me when Orthodoxy did Ustache?
Yeah.
No, seriously, I want to.
He'll probably. That's assuming he knows anything about Yugoslavia. That's a bold claim. And Sam's a smart guy. I'm not saying he's not, but I guarantee you he knows very little about the Yugoslav wars. He probably doesn't even. Not even Nikolai's listened to Rocky Vulovic. Y'all need to. That man's a hero.
Sarah,
a hero.
Jesus did not write John to you.
God is a Serb is a song that they sang as well.
By the way, just so
King
you guys
Arthur
know.
was a Serb. His
Did you ever see?
Was Alexander Pendrogovic?
Have you guys ever seen the meme where it's like one of the map conquering games? I think it's Europa Universalis, and you play as Serbia, and it shows the meme where Kylo Ren from Star Wars says more, like more, and then he says more, right, like that. And it's funny because every time he says more, the Serbia grows a little bit, and he says more, and it grows a little bit more, and then it's eventually the whole. I always laugh at that one because it's like.
I think it's in Fallen Eagle, like the first DLC for Europa Universalis 4. You can restore Byzantium as Serbia.
Yeah, by the way, I just before I gotta go, but just to all the ecumenists out there watching this, the Papists never really apologized for what happened in Serbia. Instead, they canonized the archbishop who blessed the murder of Orthodox Christians. His name is Aloysius Stepanek. So he's not venerable in the Roman Catholic Church. Okay? And a few years ago, I think last year or 2 years ago, the Archbishop of Croatia wrote a letter to our patriarch, His Holiness Porphyriot. He said, "You guys are brainwashed by Soviet propaganda." That
what?
We never did that. This is what he said.
And you did it again when Yugoslavia collapsed too, by the way.
Yeah, there's that
and
too.
It's like, I always tell people, if we drop more bombs in
where
Serbia
was the condemnation? Yeah,
no
I always ask, where was the condemnation? Maybe there was, but where was the condemnation of the bombing of Belgrade?
And by the way, the person who canonized Stepanek was Francis, just so you know. And
shocking.
So
the Soviet guy who's like, "Oh, you're all Soviets." I'm like, "Aren't you a Soviet?" Though?
So all of you ecumenists, go to a Serbian Orthodox church. Tell the men in there to kiss the icon of Stepanek. Good luck with that.
I'll tell you a funny story real quick before you leave. That's why I love Serbs. I went to Serbian church one time, or went to a Serbian parish, and this guy that was with us, is dumb man. He says, "Is that an icon of Tito?" I thought the priest was literally going to attack him. And I'm turning like white because I know that's a problem. He goes, "Tito's a dirty communist. He would never be allowed in my church." And I was like, I love Orthodoxy so much, dude.
I was going to say something. In our altar, our iconography is mostly done by a Serbian man. In our altar, we have an icon of Blessed Patriarch Pavla.
I have one right here, sitting right here. Right
with the halo. In our altar.
I have one right here. Hold on, let me show you.
And that's another good example when people try and say that the Orthodox are trying to team up with the Muslims. It is gaslighting. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you what, the Orthodox have never teamed up with the Muslims. The Orthodox have consistently been the group that fought Islam. And
more
people
than anybody.
Don't like to think about this.
Never on faith.
The Muscovites. The Muscovites are the ones who drove the Mongols out of Europe.
Yeah.
Which was a major Islamic empire, by the way, contrary to public belief. And they were very skilled fighters. We have several saints that died in battle against the Mongols. So I do take it personally, and people are like, you're teaming up with Muslims. And I'm like, no, because they made a proposition that was obviously correct, that doesn't mean we teamed up with them. You teamed up with them over and over again.
Just so you know, I will be setting up a petition for Bishop Anthony to let Antiochian Orthodox parishes on the West Coast have icons of Saint Seraphim Rose with the halo. So if y'all
Wait,
want to
I mean,
sign that,
this one will probably be a giveaway on my channel.
yeah,
soon.
No, we have an icon of Saint Seraphim Rose in our church.
Is it like? Oh, what jurisdiction are you?
Antiochian.
Okay. And by the way, I also have this. He's not officially canonized, but this is Miloš Obilić. He's the guy who killed the Sultan Murad during the Battle of Kosovo.
No, never say Tito in a Serbian church. That's correct. That's good advice.
Unless it comes after spit.
Even then, I think they'd rather just pretend he doesn't exist at this point.
He was also a croat. Just remember, he was a croat.
Does anyone say croat? I was Croat when I heard Serb say it.
What else I got here?
It's spelled croat. I don't know. It might be Croat.
Croatian, so like Croat?
Yeah.
We're saying it in English. You can say it any way you want, essentially.
I mean, true. It's like my friend always told me in the Legion. He'd say it's not croissant.
Well, it's spelled the same as groat. So
why
wouldn't it be
Croatians are called Croatians, right?
Yeah.
They're not called Croatians.
My great aunt is Croatian, so it's like
I try my best to pronounce names. I travel around a lot, so like when the Japanese are calling me Chimushi Korinzu, it drives me insane. So I try my best to pronounce names correctly, only because I hated having my name being mispronounced.
Tito was the communist dictator of Yugoslavia after World War II, after the royal family was kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked who is Tito in the chat. I was explaining it. Because I'm a cool guy.
And the Orthodox Church does take a harsh stance against communism, unlike other sections and faiths.
The sad thing is, Tito was actually probably the most functional of all the communist dictators.
Without a doubt.
Sadly, but he was also a rabid anti-Christian.
As all communists, yeah.
Yes, most of them, yeah.
Because you replaced, I mean, Father Seraphim Rose and many others have talked about this too. Yugoslavia was already doing well. It was a good country.
Yeah.
And then that's why the only thing they mess up in video games is they forget the only difference between a Croatian and a Serbian is, are they Orthodox or Catholic? So they all speak Serbian. So no, it's different.
Well,
it's different.
Well.
Oh, by the way, so
I would say that would be more true in like the 1400s than it is today. Really.
In Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, there is a Croatian Catholic church, and they actually venerate and they have a Ustaše cross.
Shocking. Well, the only good thing to come from them was the Thompson song Chicole. Well, that's the only good thing to come from them.
So I've seen St. John's in Seattle is the Croatian Catholic Church, and I drove by it once, and I was like, "Is that a Byzantine church? It looks like a Greek church. It's so weird." And then the BizCath parish is in like a strip mall.
Did you go in there though?
I didn't go in there. I just drove by there.
I don't think
I'm trying to find. There's
or is it Michael Jackson or Mary Jane?
My family is banned from that church. Because of my great uncle, because he married somebody who went to that church without permission from the bishop. Because the Croatians had their own bishop in Seattle.
Razor Fist has a really good. Oh, sorry.
I think the Croatians they really do hold that people like Stepanek and Miroslav in high regard still today, like the Catholics.
Yeah. No, the Croatian Catholic Church is its own like little enclave within Roman Catholicism.
Well, you'll remember that whenever they had the I believe it was a Croat that was unfathomably based during his war crime tribunal, where they were accusing him of killing Muslims, and he said, "I am not a war criminal." Novoslav Dajic, I can't remember that. And he drank the poison, and they're like, "Dude, we're letting you go today." He's like, "I don't care. I didn't do it." And he just died. It was awesome. I love, like, it's one of those things, like, I love the people in the Balkans because they're tough people. Some of the toughest people on the planet. And it sucks that they all fight each other all the time because they're awesome.
Well, they should all be Orthodox.
They should all be Orthodox. That's what it boils down to.
I think the only people we should allow to have Western Rite equations.
What do you guys think of the Baltics?
The
They're-
Baltics?
Don't talk about the Baltics to
joke states. Like they've never been independent on their own, like intentionally, like of their own, ever established their own independent governance. They always needed an outsider in order to be functional. And what they always end up doing is whoever is the state that they're the client of, they always drag them into pointless wars.
All right, guys. We're gonna do a panel tier list since I got so much flack. Since I got so much flack for my tier list.
Okay.
But we're gonna change the title of some of these because faithful is silly and ridiculous. We'll do respectable here, and then we'll do maybe like soft spot for them, but they're still wrong.
I like that. I like that soft spot because
Yeah.
because you may love people there, or you may think that there's some. Yeah. All
right, and I just want to say, not even Christian is wrong. We are Orthodox in this channel. They're not even heterodox.
Okay.
So there we
Wait,
go.
hold on. No convert
They're
to Serb
synagogues.
church. I love Serb churches, and Serbs are awesome. Great people, some of the best people on the planet. Honest to God,
My landlord is a Serbian deacon.
I love Serbs.
All right, chat.
You should,
All right,
you should go
chat.
visit him sometime.
Let's start. We'll start with Seventh-day Adventists.
Seventh-day Adventists. I'm just gonna put they have to be at least anathema because they're Judaizers.
Yep.
I like them. I know people who are Seventh-day Adventists who are really nice people, but they're still at the very.
Yeah, they're
Judaizers.
anathema.
Not
Yeah,
even
at least.
heterodox.
That's not even debatable in my opinion.
We're starting with anathema. He's saying not even heterodox. I don't know if I'd put him down there. That's where I'd put your your
anti-Trinitarian,
does,
or wait, our
Jehovah's
Seventh-day
Witness.
Adventists?
SDA used to be anti-Trinitarian. They aren't anymore.
This
And
is
if
the problem
that
with talking about.
if that's gonna be the bump up into anathema, I'll accept it.
Let's leave
Sure.
it anathema, and we can reanalyze it as we go because we don't want to put it at the bottom if there's other worse things. All right, next one. What is that?
We'll start with Gnosticism actually, because that's
Not-
even. That's
not
an
even
easy.
heterodox.
Not
Easy.
even heterodox.
It's not even
So-
in the section. Kick it off the Did you put Islam in there too? I'm joking.
I didn't put anything. This is a pre-made
White
one.
people Islam is in there.
Mormon.
It is there. Mormonism is in here. I did see that.
white people Islam.
Okay, so let's start with.
Hey,
now we'll go down the list. What's up?
I gotta go. So right now I'm trying to. I think I got it, but it's gonna be like a month or two. I'm putting a Mormon against a freaking Muslim in a debate.
That's beautiful.
It's hard because all these Muslims even run from Mormons. I have Mormons. Yeah, I will debate a Muslim. All the Muslims are freaking running because like the tritheists are just too powerful. But I'm just saying I gotta go. But make sure we send the Mormons on the Carnival cruise ship and ship them back to Israel. All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
God bless you.
Let's let the Mormons have Israel. I mean, at this point, who cares, right?
By the way,
No, Israel belongs
Jose,
to the
you can chime in anytime you want. Yeah, so we can't
You
hear
got
you. Anglicanism.
I
even
mean, right
heterodox.
now, yeah, it's not even heterodox. They gotta
What? Is it United States Anglicanism or is it England?
Well, they
Well,
don't break it down, so they don't
Wouldn't that be
break
like
it.
You got a woman head.
Episcopalian?
They're out.
Is Episcopalian separate? I would put it as at least anathema. I think it's worse. Okay, so let me give my position here. If you're gonna be a Protestant, I have more respect for like a non-denom guy who just wants to go to church and doesn't think about theology than I have for the people who literally think about it all the time and come up with the worst excuses ever. Put them, and not even heterodox. Put the Anglicans at the bottom. Punish them.
I do want to punish. I do.
They're in the not even heterodox for me simply because they were founded by a dude who divorced Catherine de Aragon, and technically she's my great aunt. So
That's messed up.
Well, let's do Anglicanism, slightly above Gnosticism, not
Okay.
even heterodox.
If Episcopalianism was on the list, I would say Anglicanism can go in anathema. But if it's not,
We'll reanalyze. We'll do our instinctual reactions first,
Yes.
and then we can reanalyze this afterwards. Arianism, not even I don't know, why. Like
Yep.
a lot of Protestants are Arians, though. A lot
That's
of them
true. Arminian Apostolic.
I
I'd say
I-
questionable.
I
Yeah.
actually have a soft spot for the Armenians.
I might say it's fair to bump them to soft spot because I think, as far as I know, they still do like proper liturgies and stuff like that.
Okay, we can do soft spot.
And actually, they are probably one of the groups that could come into Orthodoxy in the next 100 years.
I think they're the most of all the Oriental persuasions. I think they are the most likely. to
All right.
to do so. That being said, let's go Church of the East. I would say they're anathema.
Anathema.
I mean, they're straight up. We are
It's just a
Nestorian.
misunderstanding,
You know?
bro. It's just a misunderstanding, though.
No. These guys
I know,
don't
I
even
beg
say
pardon.
that. Congregationalism.
Anathema.
I mean, anathema.
They're anathema. Do you think they're above the Seventh Day? They're definitely above Seventh Day. They're definitely above Seventh Day.
I mean, congregationalism is such a wide field nowadays.
It is true. Coptic Orthodoxy, I do questionable. I think they're below Armenians.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this. I'd agree with that. With this, the only thing I'll say I like about Coptics is they're a good argument against a lot of people, because you go, well, if Eastern Orthodoxy has all these accretions, they're making all this stuff up, how come the Coptics have these other similar things that we do when we split apart with them? That's the only good thing about them.
We can use them as an argument, but
except for their anime character icons, that's really jarring for me.
It's very weird. Disciples of Christ. Never heard of this one.
Not even heterodox. The Disciples of Christ Church in my town is super libtard. They have a gay flag out front.
My town had a Disciples of Christ church in there, but they all died out, and a local family who runs the local morgue bought their church building and now uses it as the morgue.
That's funny.
That one was actually built by the
Not even heterodox, but at the bottom there's Bazarians.
I
went onto their website. It's bad.
Yeah, they were funded by the Johnson family, or at least the one that built the one that was in my town. And so, like, even down in Johnson City, where the Johnson family comes from, Lyndon B. Johnson was a Disciples of Christ, and the Disciples of Christ put it as a congregation, or not as a congregation, but as a denomination, put a ton of money into pushing for open borders migration. They were actually the quote unquote Christian sect that was supportive and very critical in getting the Heller-Cart Act, or whatever it's called.
Yes, and if you look on their website, it says they are justice oriented, and that was enough for me to say at least
that's immediately anathema.
Absolutely not. Like then they're not even heterodox. Once they read justice, I'm like
Dutch Reformed. I have a soft spot for Dutch Reformed. I think they're the most consistent of the Reformed persuasions. I think that they I wouldn't say soft spot as they're above the Coptics. I think maybe questionable.
I was gonna say. So hold on. I want to say this. My issue with Dutch Reformed and my issue with all Reformed, right? And I'm talking about actual Reformed people, like people who really thought this stuff out. I respect in a way that they do, in fact, actually say what they believe. Unlike a lot of Protestants, like the Reformers would actually say, no, we are right, you are wrong, and you are a fake church. Which I at least appreciate their honesty, because they take their ideas to the logical conclusion of those ideas. What I'm going to say, though, is I almost feel like it's worse, though, because you're rebelling against, like, it's like, have you ever, like, Redeemed Zoomer be like, well, you don't want to be a church that's in schism. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your church is already in schism. He's like, no, they kicked us out, not the other way around. So I'm kind of in this mindset of, like, is it worse because they do think this stuff through and still come to these bad ideas? Or is it better that they think it through, at least, unlike other people?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put them in questionable, because, like, they're better than Congregationalism, because they have a more coherent position.
I definitely agree. Coptics
Church
are
of the.
them.
I think they're above the Church of the East because they're not Nestorian, or at least not intentionally Nestorian.
We got some converts out of them too recently, at least in my parish.
Yeah. There's always going to be a flow of Reformed people to Orthodoxy, because the Reformed Church. None of the Reformed churches hold to ecclesial exclusivity anymore, and they're going to look at that and say, well, that's a change. I thought we weren't supposed to change, guys. And then they'll look around and be like, oh, I'll be Orthodox.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
So,
Orthodoxy, it's true.
Obviously true.
Catholicos.
Guys, it's obviously true.
It's Catholicos.
The whole faith.
Never forget. Faith. I want to point out it was an Anglican bishop when Trump was like, it was such a boring service, I hated it.
No, Trump should have gone to Divine Liturgy that morning.
He would have been way happier for it, I bet. All right, so we all agree Orthodoxy's, that's good.
What's that?
Toledo Orthodoxy.
What?
The Ethiopians.
They get soft spot.
I think they get soft spot.
I got a bunch of converts out of them recently.
Good.
Both.
I
in
think
the
they are
First
above
and
the
both the
Coptics,
Sister
though.
Church.
Somebody at Kaiser's Church is friends with Haile Selassie's grandmother, and I met Haile Selassie's grandmother at Kaiser's Church.
Ah,
Or
Are you
granddaughter.
talking about the guy who, or the king of Ethiopia who fought against the Italians?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Based.
Yeah, my grandfather fought for him as a mercenary. That's a whole different
Yeah,
story.
so I met Haile Selassie's granddaughter.
Heretics aren't respectable. I mean, this tier list, we can change the names later, okay? Not even heterodoxes, of course. JW, well, you know where they're going.
they're
straight to the bottom.
They're going just behind the Anglicans, because I think
actually they should go above the Anglicans because at least they don't do gay stuff.
No, I love my grandfather.
Well, to be fair, Anglicans, there are conservative wings of Anglicanism, even though it's complete like.
If the men are effeminate, though.
Okay, we all agree that they aren't great. Okay, but I feel like we're letting our I'm personally biased against Anglicanism because I'm of the mind of if you want to be Catholic, just be Catholic. If you want to be Orthodox, just be Orthodox. Don't do half measures. And Anglicanism is literally a half measure. It's the worst.
Yeah. I just don't want. I couldn't imagine wanting to be English. That's my thing.
That's what I don't know why you'd want to be, and the only reason you want to be is because you're a LARPer who doesn't like to make decisions.
Exactly.
That's it. You don't like
Lutheranism.
To think about things.
I actually am going to be a little controversial here. They're heretics, but they are respectable.
In another timeline, if they would have been able to speak, if the Ottoman Empire hadn't done what they did to the Orthodox Church, it is very possible that Luther could have been it could have been the case that there was a high church German and there would have been old church German, and it would have been a beautiful thing.
And by the way, these categories down below true are not necessarily better or worse in certain cases. Clearly not even heterodox is worse than anathema, questionable, and stuff like that. But here is a little bit more amorphous. Just because I have there's respectability there doesn't mean
that's why they're below.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily ahead or below soft spot or questionable.
Obligatory. My priest was a Lutheran priest who did St. John Chrysostom's liturgy as a Lutheran.
That's my point. That Lutherans, there is a spectrum of Lutheranism, but Lutherans do not make, or traditionally Lutheranism. It's a weird spot. If you really look at the issues that Lutherans had with the Catholic Church specifically, a lot of those problems would have been solved by Orthodoxy. The German princes were in fact correct that the Pope was exercising too much power and authority over their local bishop, over the selection of the local bishop.
I have a soft spot for Lutheranism because I almost became Lutheran, and I did at one point agree with a lot of his beliefs. And I think if I didn't do that exploration into Lutheranism, I wouldn't have become Orthodox.
If you want a history dive in terms of with the Lutheran princes just wanted what Spain got with the Patronato Real. So in the Spanish Church, the Pope could not pick any bishops. He couldn't couldn't depose anybody, couldn't appoint anybody, couldn't even nominate anyone.
Well, remember,
couldn't enforce any councils, any decrees, any encyclicals within Spain without the approval of the Synod of Toledo and the approval of the king.
Yeah,
so, right. We gotta power through this real quick, guys, because my daughter just came in and told me that we're going somewhere. So
Methodism.
Let's go Methodism.
Soft spot.
Sure. Soft spot.
We're converting all of them.
Moravian Church. Isn't the Moravian Church the
questionable
Hussites?
Questionable. I don't even know who they are. So
aren't those the Hussites?
Soft spot for me.
Oh, no, stop! You should put them up to the near or on heretics aren't respectable because Jan Hus, all of his declarations he wanted was orthodoxy, and there's actually arguments that he's actually was Orthodox. The modern Moravians may suck, but let's find
I was going to say about Jan Hus, the very men who burned him at the stake afterwards accused him of being crypto-Orthodox because his last words were the Jesus prayer.
Yes. He was a crypto-Orthodox.
Mormons, there was an effort to try and get Jan Hus as a saint, but they said just because he wasn't formally a member, they're you can't do it. So Mormons, below Jehovah's Witnesses, Nazarene Church, anathema.
If you're putting the Methodists up in soft spot, you have to put Nazarene in questionable.
Fine. Okay.
Dutch Reformed? All right. Dutch Reformed. Wait, hold on. What's the next one? That's a lot of letters.
The next one is Neo-Pentecostalism.
Not even heterodox.
Were they born in Romania?
To a Christian family?
Pentecostal.
I will put them above the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons, but that's about non-denominational.
Not even heterodox.
Honestly, I think they're not as bad as some of these other ones because at least they're honest in their ideology.
I would say they're anathema, but they're above the Assyrian Church of the East. So they are the best of the anathemas.
When you're trying to explain to someone who's non-denominational about orthodoxy, there is a soft spot in their heart you can hit because they're not completely closed off to being wrong. The problem is with a lot of these other ones is they are completely closed off to being wrong.
Yeah.
So with
Old Catholic, by the way.
Old Catholic, I mean,
my problem with them is that just become Orthodox, bro.
Just become Orthodox. It's the same thing happened to Sedevacantists.
It's a massive.
Also, the first to embrace gay marriage.
It's just a cope.
They're anathema.
They support gay marriage. Not even heterodox.
They were the first. They were the first to sell it. They were actually the first to support gay marriage as a denomination.
Oh, there we go. They're below the Anglicans then. Pentecostalism.
Not even Orthodox.
See, I would normally
Orthodox. Yeah, no.
I would say normally I would say not even heterodox, but I do have a soft spot because I do have family members that came from it. So
I was born and raised in it, man. It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare.
So the only thing I'll say about
I can't say it. It's got to go.
Definitely they got to go to heterodox.
Gay.
I want to defend Pentecostals on one thing, which is they come from crappy other like Reformed Presbyterians and stuff like that, which has no spiritualism really at all in their church. Mm-hmm. They go insane and start barking like a dog because they were completely cut off from spiritual stuff altogether, and they're trying to make up for it. So I only defend them.
I'd say are above the non-denominationals, but they're not questionable.
Anathema.
Yeah, I guess.
I
almost feel
Quakers are
nut jobs.
Nut jobs, yeah, they're
absolute nut jobs, but
crazy. They started with a woman who thought
they're above the Pentecostals though. Sedevacantists, not even heterodox. You're just like become Orthodox.
I want to stop.
Bro.
Become Orthodox. You should probably put them at like soft spot in the sense of like, dude, you're already halfway there.
Yeah. I'd say questionable.
Yeah, just like the Copts, right? Like if they tomorrow cleanse their heresy and join the Orthodox Church,
we're gonna leave Rome for the very end. True Orthodox.
Not even heterodox.
Not even heterodox.
My hatred for schismatics is pretty high, and like seeing that loser.
They're anathema. We'll put them above.
No, okay. Kaiser, you need to ask Reader John about Deacon Swaden.
Oh yeah, I mean, just the true Orthodox are anathema because they should know better.
Ask him tomorrow.
They should know better.
I want to sit in on that conversation.
Or with my niece.
So Unitarian Universalists, let's just
not even heterodox.
Not only are they gay,
they're not even Christian.
Not only are they Arians, not only are they like they literally adopted two major heresies in their name, plus they made their symbol gay. Like it's just the worst of the worst.
You want to know something funny? The Unitarian Universalists and the Disciples of Christ in my town share a building.
That's
I believe it.
Baptists, they will go just around the non-denoms. The only difference between they're basically the same. The only difference, actually, I'll put them below the non-denoms because the only difference between a non-denominational and a Baptist, a non-denominational is too embarrassed to accept the label of Baptist.
I want to stop, and now that we're at the end, I want to stop about the non-denominational, the Baptist, and I'm going to make a case to improve, okay? Their hearts can be more open to some things because they don't think they're right about everything all the time. To be a Protestant is to outright deny, to be like Reformed Presbyterian, you have to outright reject Orthodox teachings. Okay, where a Baptist or non-denom might be like, well, maybe you're right.
Let's vote. Do we, on the panel, we the council of the tier list making for denominations, do we vote for non-denominational to go up one level to questionable?
Because I'm just saying it's more likely.
I'm assuming Tim is a vote in maybe getting them up one level.
I would say it's more likely for a non-denominational church to wake up one day and realize Orthodoxy is correct, and this has happened in the United States. But you're never going to get a Presbyterian church to admit they're wrong. That's what I mean to say.
Someone says, this church sucks. You hate my grandma.
My grandma's Pentecostal too, okay? She still asks me, "Will you speak in tongues?"
You know what?
Church?
I
Like,
will.
I love
will
you,
make a
Momo.
decisive vote here. They're below Dutch Reformed, but they're
Okay.
above the Nazarene Church. I do
Okay.
think that the Baptists are worse than them, though, because I do
Baptists-
think some non-denoms are literally just evangelical, and I
Yeah.
don't. As much as I criticize evangelicals, a lot of evangelicals are converting precisely because they understand the position their church is in. All right, guys, here comes the big one: Roman Catholics.
I ask you this simple question before y'all make a decision. Have any of these denominations sacked Constantinople? That's all I ask. Make your choice after that.
Well,
here's my thing. They can't be respectable. They can't be soft spot.
And they can't be over sedevacantism. I'd rather be a sedevacantist than a papist.
And the only reason we put the Orientals higher is because there's a higher chance of them kind of
returning
to orthodoxy. I see almost no chance of Roman Catholicism.
They bless gay marriages. We put all the others in not heterodox for blessing gay marriages. What about the Pope? What about when he said the death penalty is different?
We have to. I think we have to put him in not even heterodox. What do you guys think? Rafa?
I would say anathema, which is...
Hold on. How do they treat their best people? What did they do to the Teutonic Knights? What did they do to the Templars? Anybody who actually fights for them, they betray. Put them at the bottom.
The Templars didn't betray the church. They betrayed the French government. So
the church is the one who had them.
What I will say, okay, so let me put it this way. Jose, as a Latin American.
Yep. All right.
We need representation. We need representation.
We need the representatives.
I mean, most of the Catholic churches in the town I live in, 3 out of 5 are Spanish.
Yep, I would put Roman Catholic as anathema because they backstabbed the Spanish Empire, destroying it so that they could destroy the independence of the Spanish Church to get access to the money.
Here's my thing: saying
Can
not
we
even
double down and make it worse because they ruined the Teutonic Knights too.
No. Because here's my problem. Here's my problem with
the Teutons tried to take over Russia.
No, they tried to take over Novgorod, and I'll have you know who else took over Novgorod? The Russians. The Muscovites conquered them and almost wiped them out.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can't put them in heterodox.
They were a merchant republic.
We cannot put them in heterodox because as much as like their church pretends not to adopt the homosexual stuff, and so at least on a LARP level,
so, if you worship Muhammad's God, are you really? Can you even?
Yeah, that's not even heterodox. There it is.
And again,
there it is.
The Dutch Reformed didn't sack Constantinople. That's what I'm trying to say.
So I will say they're actually, because of that, they go below the Anglicans. They're just barely better than the old Catholics. That sealed the deal for me. Yeah.
These churches are the same people who launch crusades and then the next second say, "Oh, by the way, it's bad to fight wars." Oh, thank you. I wish you'd have told them that before they died for you. That's nice of you to do.
Crimea was the last crusade.
Yeah, and I'll have you know that all the Italian Catholics, all the Catholic countries jumped on Crimea and helped defend the Tartars in Crimea against the glorious Russian Empire. And they ruined Russia's flag.
I will point out the Italian troops who were involved in the Crimean War fled over and surrendered to the Russians almost immediately. So,
well, yeah, that's because they're Italian.
So here, that is true. They're Italians.
Can I
so
make
guys,
a point of contention?
the official tier list.
Point of privilege, he says. Come on, he's point of privilege. He has a point of privilege.
Point of privilege. Go ahead.
Point of contention. Methodists. I have a hard time putting them in a soft spot, just because we don't know how it's all going to shake up in the next 20 years with them.
I put soft spot only because my instinct tells me that that even if leadership wise they don't really convert, I think we're going to get a ton of converts from them. So I do have a soft spot for that. That being said, I'm surprised they don't have Episcopalians on here.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Episcopalians are fall under Anglicans.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that's where my mind is too. Is that when you talk about getting conversions from Presbyterians and stuff, it does happen. But the thing is, Presbyterianism is built. Where are we getting the worst stuff from? Presbyterians, Latinizers, They won't leave us alone because they convert because they don't want to do gay marriage. But then they're like, oh, but can I still be Calvinist here? No, the Calvinist God is evil.
That is true.
He's evil. He damns people on purpose for fun.
I'll give this other point too. The what do you call it? Presbyterians I know whose sons or daughters go Orthodox go apeshit, whereas the Methodist ministers I know whose sons go Orthodox, they're okay with it. So
that's what I'm saying.
So I think Methodists have to be soft spot because I feel like I think just from that perspective. Plus, the Methodists at least try and maintain something of a conservative wing of their church, whereas even the conservative wings of Anglicanism most of them are still in communion with the lesbian archbishop. Even if it's tangential,
whatever excuse they want to use. Because remember, the Anglican Church in the 60s almost joined the Orthodox Church. Did you know that? Did you know the only point of contention they had
was the homosexual stuff, right?
Women. They said, well, we have women priests. And Orthodox are like, yeah, that's cool, dude. No.
Okay, there's a long history in the 20th century of Anglicans trying to join the Orthodox Church. A long history.
And that was the main point of contention the last time they tried, and then they just gave up after that.
No, actually, the last time they tried was in like 2000 and.
Well, I mean, seriously tried. Well, this was in the 60s, where they actually had it like ironed out, like it was going to happen. All you have to do is give up women priests, and they're like, no.
Well, the continuing Anglicans, some of them came in, and now they're the Antioch and West Rite Vicariate is made up of continuing Anglicans, who converted to Orthodoxy.
Yeah. They bring in here's the thing, that conversion brought in their own level of issues because a lot of the Western
Metropolitan Philip got dragged through courts by those people because of the property disputes.
I guess when the
CAs tried to come in the 2000s under Metropolitan Jonah, when he was Metropolitan of the OCA, he told them, you have to unite yourselves in liturgical worship. You can only have one rite, whether that's Byzantine or the approved. You can borrow it from the Antiochians, whatever. And you have to give up all your properties that are in dispute. And that was the point of contention.
So what we should consider, too, is if we ever do another tier list, which we should, but we should do the next one. We should get all the denominations we can find. And we should put best Orthodox converts come from.
Well, I have to make my own tier list at some point because there isn't very many Orthodox ones.
No, like, look at this. Like, obviously Orthodoxy is great. But, like, shouldn't we acknowledge that, like, pews suck somewhere in this tier list?
Yeah, and this tier list is kind of behind the times. Like the
using their lies.
And if we're going with just by America, the Moravians should be not even heterodox because they are not.
Yeah, and their modern iteration. I only give Jan Hus a little credit because Jan Hus was. I mean, it's essentially irrefutable. It's weird because like Redeemed Zoomer brings this up. He goes like, he was proto-Protestant. I'm like, I don't think he would say that. And this is kind
another controversial one for Orthodox Twitter to throw a fit about.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Jan Hus rejected. He rejected
Orthodox jurisdiction tier list.
There you go.
But Moscow S tier, Serbia S tier. Let's start with the best.
What were you saying? Jose?
Yeah, I was just quick thing was. I mean, the thing with Jan Hus was what's very interesting about him is it's not that he also called out all of the innovations that Rome did up into the 15th century and was calling to essentially undo those. He also explicitly rejected all the future, like the Protestant errors, which Wycliffe was pushing in England. So, because Hus was accused of pushing Wycliffe stuff, and he himself explicitly and repeatedly rejected the articles that Wycliffe put out, and he explicitly stated why. So that's why there was that whole debate over like, can we venerate him or not? Was he a baptism by desire? Because of the fact every single thing that he wanted was a return to orthodoxy.
Yes.
Everything he rejected all the Catholic errors that existed at the time. And then he also rejected all of the Protestant errors that were to come. So, and that's why
100%.
A small section of his followers did in fact become Orthodox in the end. And that's why you have the Orthodox Church of Czech and Slovak lands.
It's also the best Protestant religion in Europa Universalis 4.
Guys, I got another tier list I'm going to show you guys, but just look how cancerous this tier list is. So it's Theologians and Church Fathers tier list maker, okay?
Ooh.
Look who they include. Arius,
Arius, well, you got to have an automatic
Francis-
F tier.
Francis
It's literally
Let's do it.
stop. I want
And then I gotta
the
go to
Arius
sleep.
pictures of him being slapped.
Arius F. Let's go.
You got to put Arius on
Arius
F.
F.
Easy.
I don't know
Anthony of
Anthony.
Thebes.
I don't know him.
Don't know him, so we'll just put him at C.
Athanasius.
Athanasius,
S tier.
S tier.
S.
Augustine of
tier?
Hippo, he's B. He's B.
Okay.
He had too many errors.
He's not remembered as a theologian. He's remembered for his repentance.
Yeah,
Clement
Clement
of
of Rome.
He's not a church father for us. He is for
No.
Rome, but not for us.
I'll put him.
Clement of Rome.
And
He's a church father.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Clement of Rome. Sorry, I was thinking Clement of
A tier.
Alexandria.
A tier.
A tier.
Yeah, he's
All right, let's go.
he's A tier. Yeah, Cyril of Alexandria,
A tier.
A tier.
another A tier. Eutychus of Constantinople, he's F. He's a heretic.
Yep.
Francis,
F.
heretic. Zwingli, heretic.
Ignatius of Antioch.
Ignatius, he's A tier. Irenaeus, A tier. Jacob of Severus, F. Jan Hus,
C
Now,
tier.
again, at least
C,
I'm
again.
going to say, yeah, C.
I say
feel
C
like-
only because I think he was right in his opposition to it, and there's nothing overtly heretical from anything I've read in his writings. John Calvin,
F.
tier, F tier.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph
F.
Smith, F tier.
No, put Joseph Smith on E just to make people mad.
No! Come on, stop right here. I'm going to be honest. I would rather be an Arian than a Mormon. I'm just going to level with you. If that's the case, at least Arius took a hit in his life, okay?
Justin Martyr, A tier.
Yeah.
Marcion.
Macron of
Nope.
Nope.
Marcionism, that would be F tier.
F tier, yep.
F
That's actually a
tier.
really common heresy that a lot of Protestants fall into that no one thinks about. I don't know why.
Martin
That's-
Luther,
that-
F tier.
F
Well,
tier.
actually, I'll put him as E because
means
even though he was a
something.
complete, even though he was a complete basket case and a complete, like,
Yeah.
even though he's a complete basket case, he at least had valid reasons for being upset with Rome. So
I
I'll
feel
give
like
him
that's a good point to make, and I think that you're giving some grace to the guy and say like he was literally crazy. You know what I mean? This
He
guy
literally was. Read
and,
his
like-
writings. He had such anxiety about his own salvation, mostly caused by Roman theology.
And
So-
I love Alex Soren, so don't take this the wrong way, but John Calvin's a lawyer. Who the hell would ever ask a lawyer to make your church? That's crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
Alex would say the same thing, probably.
Yeah, I imagine.
Alex has said the same thing on multiple occasions. He
Methodius.
says it's a Methodius of Olympus.
C. High
That'd be
C.
huge.
High C, because he was a little controversial on some things.
Nestorius F tier. I feel like we needed like a worse tier as it goes down.
Yep.
Like just Nestorius, and it just keeps going down.
Novation of Rome. Novationism is an F. Origin is an
F.
F.
Obviously, high S for
High S.
Saint Paul the Apostle.
Is obviously S tier. I don't know who Peter
Abelard. I'm gonna look this up.
Abelard.
Actually,
I've
I've
heard of
heard
him.
of
I
him.
don't know anything about him, but he's probably
He's French, so F.
Polycarp. We just don't have a lot of writings from him, so he's B tier. I mean, like,
Well, he was in 1079. Abelard.
He's post schism. I know he had a huge influence on Aquinas.
Okay, F. Why is Pope Francis on here?
He invented limbo.
No. Pope Francis goes in D. He was at least a good Orthodox apologist.
No, I refuse. Do not do this to me. I can't handle it. Pope Francis, his face scars me. I had a hard time. Like, Lord have mercy.
Pope Leo
for that.
the first.
A tier next to Saint Cyril. Next to
Saint Cyril.
Yeah.
I think Clement of Rome maybe goes behind these guys because they don't. His writings weren't as influential as
Tertullian.
Simeon the New Theologian, S. I mean, he got the
S
title
tier.
theologian.
Yeah.
Yes, so
and
he
then
goes up here.
Tertullian,
Tertullian.
F.
F.
I normally would do F, but his errors were mostly because he was a schismatic idiot. So
E.
E.
Why isn't everyone's favorite Protestant apologist on here? Origin. All
Origin
Protestants love Origin.
He
They
is
never shut up
Origin of
about him.
Alexandria, right here.
Oh, he is. He's already at F tier. Yeah. Good. We put him
William
down with all the other
Gadsby, I
weirdos.
don't know anything about him, but he sounds like a prot, so he's going
it's
in F.
actually point of contention.
Go ahead.
Point of privilege.
chat.
Yeah.
Irenaeus of Leon should be S tier.
Irenaeus of Leon, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think above?
Above Simeon.
I almost feel like S should just be Paul, and then we should just bump everyone else down. Like, because how are you going to say, how are we going to honestly say that any of these
I just
people
think,
compared to an apostle?
Because I think just the influence.
The church says people are equal to the apostles.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so,
true.
Thomas Aquinas is
Saint
obviously.
Saint Tikhon of New York was almost called equal to the apostles.
Is he on the list?
No.
Yeah, there we go. Like I said, how are we going to say that? I ain't the church. I'm not the one. I'm giving a tier list.
But if you listen to Saint Tikhon's Troparion, it's the same melody as the apostles.
All right, guys, hold on. I'll be right back. You guys discuss the tier list a little bit more. I'll be right back.
Okay,
right.
we got lots to say about this tier list.
Good night, all. I gotta go.
Good night. Good to see you, man. Let's talk about the most important. Let's see what chat says. Move Tertullian and Martin Luther to D so you can fine tune the F tier. I kind of agree with you on this one because I feel like it was an instinct F, and I think Nikolai made a good point where it's like, well, let's give some credit to people like Martin Luther who had legitimate grievances but didn't know how to fix it because they were crazy.
Yeah.
Because I made this point yesterday where it's like people always want to blame individuals for mistakes of the church, and I'm like, well, the Catholic Church sucks, and it's going to drive people insane like this. That's why Catholics are always crazy.
It still does. It still
does. That's why Sedecantists suck.
Hey guys, back. Someone said Saint Simeon, the new theologian, was actually title given to him from his peers, from them thinking he thought highly of himself.
He's on the Veneration as Saint Simeon, the new theologian. So.
Well, I mean, apparently
someone said to move Tertullian and Martin Luther to D so you can fine tune the F tier list. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him on that. Like, move them up to D.
So,
like, Arius is obviously peak F.
Okay, who's that Anthony guy? What's his title? In C tier?
Anthony of Thebes.
So I don't know Anthony of Thebes at all. But
I'm looking at that right now.
Let's focus on fixing the F tier real quick here. So, like, Arius is obviously peak F tier because he was absolutely obstinate. He had every chance to repent. He never did. He died slipping in his own feces. Like,
Nestorius is the same.
We have to move Anthony of Thebes up. It's Saint Anthony the Great.
Okay.
Oh, Saint Anthony the Great. Oh, gee, why did he? I never even heard that title for Thebes.
I've never heard that title for him either.
So he's got to go. I think he's got to go near an Ignatius. And I think Pope Leo the First goes near Clement.
I'm gonna say a lot of these
Pope Cyril of Alexandria. I like him probably right there.
Pope Leo and Pope Cyril are together because they are like that for us.
Yeah.
See, I guess this is an Orthodox position to take. I'm looking at this and saying F obviously should be anyone who's schismed from the actual church. The people who are like schisming off the Catholics and the Protestants, like, who cares? They're just wrong because in a different way. Like, obviously Joseph Smith can stay in F no matter what.
Honestly, I don't care about any of these Protestants really as much, including Pope Francis the Protestant.
I thought he was an Orthodox apologist. What?
So I would say Nestorius is slightly above Arius. Nestorius is slightly above.
Yes, I would agree with that argument too.
Because I think his reasoning was much stronger than the others.
Well, that being said,
Jacob of Severus, as a result, would be next to him because he's just an extension of Nestorius, basically, right?
Yeah.
Origen goes above those guys because, again, even though he was a complete psychopath and like a lot of his views were totally
maybe Origen should be in D.
He should be in D
because he was crazy, but he had some good points.
He died within the boundaries.
I thought he died as a Gnostic heretic.
No, he died. He died in schism with his bishop.
Yeah, Origen cut off. The only thing I'll say about Origen is, I think Origen does a lot of damage to the church even today, because people.
Yeah, so I have to keep him lower than that. He has to be below Nestorius.
Especially as a military veteran, Origen is the cringe lord that makes military veterans get yelled at church.
Okay, my nightly OCA jab. If you were in the OCA in the South, for the longest time, your bishop was an Origenist.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But the church allows people to look at Origen. It's not he's a good historical witness. That's not the concern.
Oh
You know
no,
what I mean?
like Archbishop, he's no longer the Archbishop of the South. He retired.
So let's do these last 4 here. Do any of these guys get moved up? I think Arius doesn't get moved up. Eutychus.
Arius is the arch heretic. Like he's the OG.
Eutychus
of Constantinople.
I mean,
I think he just stays down there.
Yeah. The only other person I could say to move up to E would be controversial opinion, Francis of Assisi.
Okay, so he was just an OG Nestorian, basically.
Yeah, I think we can move Francis of Assisi up. I think that's fair. He's one of those guys that's crazy. He's innocently wrong, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I agree with you that people.
I think we could move Thomas Aquinas up to
D. I'd say D. Then put Thomas Aquinas. He has done real damage.
And his inspiration, Peter Abelard, can live in D too.
And what I'll say with Thomas Aquinas.
With Thomas Aquinas?
Yeah, he was. Thomas Aquinas was really inspired by.
Yeah, I kind of knew that, but I didn't know. I haven't researched Thomas Aquinas enough. I'd say that they're probably above Luther and above Tertullian.
Yeah.
Well, so actually, Tertullian, I have more respect for. I think Tertullian, as wrong as he was a cringe lord, but he
was an edgelord.
I kind of got a question though. Like
Hong Hus, he is a heretic, so he has to go above. He can't not be in C.
But hold on. There was an argument if he was a heretic or not. Because
it doesn't matter because he died outside the bounds of the church regardless. Like regardless of whether someone said for $5, say Collins in the description got a theology argument. I wanted to check in. Is there a link? Unfortunately, I'm going to be heading off here soon, brother.
Oh, sorry. Man.
So we will be doing Collins on another stream, maybe later at best.
Zwingli can stay in F tier. I
have no respect for Zwingli.
Yeah, Zwingli and Calvin State, they're as bad as Martin Luther as far as I'm concerned, or Joseph Smith. I mean,
Zwingli...
and actually, Pope Francis goes right behind Arius. Actually, Pope Francis is a great advocate. He's E.
He can move up and be next to his patron saint.
Yeah. There we go. I think that is a solid tier list.
Can we put Calvin below Joseph Smith just to make the Presbyterians angry?
Yes. There we go.
Yes. Because
they both believe
Joseph Smith didn't say God is evil.
They both believe in
Calvin does. Calvin insists that God just creates people because he likes to put them in hell.
Well, Joseph Smith doesn't believe in an uncreated God.
I mean, obviously, he would be not even in the religious aspect close to Christianity.
We are going to on the next live, if we don't get any call-ins, we'll definitely be doing a panel tier list with all of the Orthodox theologians and saints. So just our Orthodox, that means they're all good, they're all in the green. That means that even the F tier saints and all the way up to S tier are good. They're all in the green, but
let's do an Orthodox apologist tier list.
I don't know.
Jay Dyer's like, no.
Let's see what the community ranks were. So this is ours.
This is gonna make me die, isn't it?
I can't see it.
Ugh.
Here's one from Matthew 23.
John Calvin A.
What's Simeon, the new theologian, and Pope Leo the First and
John Calvin today? What are you talking about? That's not what. That's the worst. This is terrible. How dare
He put Novation above Simeon, the new theologian, and Pope Leo the First. He put Pope Francis above Pope Leo.
Somebody doesn't understand Christology. Somebody here
may or may not be that this guy is clearly a Presbyterian.
Functionally retarded?
He's a Presbyterian! That's what I said!
You don't have to repeat me.
You're being redundant.
There is only one for that tier list, so... Let's see what the Orthodox jurisdiction tier list... I just want to see what the community ranks were.
Obviously, you gotta have Moscow
are not an F tier. I'll be upset.
I don't... See, I can't read all of these.
Can't be an F tier. There is no Ukrainian jurisdiction. What are you talking about?
In America, there is.
A what?
No, they're under the EU.
Do you know what
EP.
Ukraine means in Russian?
Borderland.
Borderland. Interesting. Huh. That sounds like a real country to me.
So I see. The thing is, I don't know all the symbols for all the different
I can
jurisdictions.
see the OCA.
Yeah, OCA is easy.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can put OCA
That's
low. My church is great, but not all are.
The OCA is like a box of chocolates. Father John.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle.
Sometimes you get Father Ivanov.
I think this is Poland.
Is that Poland?
No, that's Georgia.
This one? Oh, Georgia's S tier.
S tier.
I
think that's Serbia. It's so hard to tell because they all use the Byzantine double-headed eagle. It's awesome.
Except the OCA.
Because it's kind of cringe.
I can't read this one. Do they have Macedonia on here? I'm not seeing any of
I think that's Venice.
It's pronounced Macedonia.
The one at the top right now, I think that's Antioch. Because that's St. Peter and Paul, it looks like.
Okay, so that's A tier, easy.
Easy A tier.
The only problem with the Antioch is that they do have a habit of being too ecumenical in the Middle East.
Is that Cyprus?
Oh, they're extremely ecumenical in the Middle East. In America, all the Antiochian priests I know are like really not ecumenist.
Yes.
I can't see.
This might be Cyprus.
That could be Cyprus. Yeah, I think that's Cyprus.
They've recently had some problems. They've recently had some problems. They took they deposed one of their super based bishops.
But their bishop was literally the head of the country and fought a war against Turks.
The next one is Finland, I think.
Oh, they're
F tier, yeah.
Wow. No
kebab removers. Ecumenical Patriarchate right here.
Yeah,
that's sadly an F tier. I hate to put Constantinople, but he lets it stay Istanbul, so put it.
I think if you put Cyprus at D, you can't put EP below D.
But the thing is, the Cyprus Church fights Muslims. They're based.
Yeah, but they're aligned with the EP is the problem.
Well, they don't have a choice. Come on, man.
What is this one?
I should look into that.
That's the UAOC. That's their schismatics.
Oh, they don't even belong on the list then. Okay.
Yeah.
This one?
I don't know.
See, this is why you need names below these things. I can't.
Yeah, because I said oh hey, what about this double-headed eagle? They all have double-headed eagles because it's cool.
And I think the red double-headed eagle is that's EP.
And it's kind of small, dude. Like, what's wrong with these people? Okay.
What is wrong with these people? They don't have any. They don't label it. I don't like it. We're gonna stop doing this one.
if we're gonna do that one, we make our own.
Wait, hey, what are we gonna fight about? Are you guys saying that I'm gonna be cast off the island for defending the Cypriots? I'll have you know, anyone who removes kebab is a friend of mine.
I mean, it's not an issue with the Cypriots; it's an issue with their archbishop for me. Their current archbishop is very pro schismatic at the moment.
I mean, but he says some things with his lips, and he shoots a machine gun at Turks. So it's like, what do you say?
Yeah, well,
I mean that you could make the same argument, I guess.
I'm sorry, I'm a one-issue voter on this one. I
kind of am too. Like, I think you can be sainted for destroying Turks. Like, look at Alexander Prizovit, who's my favorite saint, and he famously lanced a Mongolian in the chest with a lance. Oh, monks aren't supposed to kill people. That's true, but it's still awesome when he does it.
Yeah. So the bishop who made me a reader can't go back to his home country because he would be arrested.
For what?
For being Russian Orthodox.
Well, that's Greece's fault, though.
Yeah. Well, it's EP's fault. Actually, that one's America's fault. That one's on America.
See, that's a kind of a question of that would.
So
be
next time we're gonna do this one, guys. I'm not on it, but we're gonna do it.
That's what
Orthodox
I'm saying.
YouTubers.
Put J at S. J at S.
J has to be S because he's like
he's the
an
orthopope,
OG.
dude. He's the orthopope.
OE S tier.
Obviously, like
yeah.
Ubi Petrus
OE.
S tier.
Where's Patristic
Dr.
Nectar? They
Bo
have to be.
Branson S tier for sure.
Patristic Nectar, go over. Over. They're like cell 4, bottom row. 4
Yeah,
from
it's
the right.
the
4 from the right here?
No,
it's the one with the quill.
the quill.
Yeah, so you're looking up one. Stop,
Oh, right
moving.
there. There it is.
There you
Yeah, they're S tier.
Yeah. Dr. Bo
Barb
Branson
Laren
gotta be S.
Barb Laren is F tier. No, Barb
She's
Laren
not
gets her
even.
own-
She's not even Orthodox anymore.
Give
she's
her
been
her
in-
own tier. Give her her own tier.
Schismatic.
How do I add a tier? I
Here's
got.
the question: for Orthodox apologists, can we add Pope Francis, Michael Lofton? I think Elijah Yassi deserves to be on there because after like
Not Orthodox. We'll just do that.
do you even not Orthodox? Yeah.
Yeah, David's a good A tier. He doesn't post enough to be higher.
Yeah.
Brother Augustine is kind of
that
a
Father
weirdo.
Moses on the
He's a C. He's one of those like OG Latinizers. Even though he's not as bad as some of them, he's still one of the OG
there's
Latinizers.
Theoria. Put Theoria, not Orthodox.
That's Dr. Bo Branson.
Where's Theoria? Y2 AM, do they even post anymore? I just like.
I mean, they're run by the Antiochian Archdiocese, so they're fine. Put them in B. Just put them in B.
I just don't see them ever post.
They're run by an archdiocese. They're fine.
Yeah. Not Orthodox Barbara. Kotel, he's an A tier. Easy. I think above David just because, he posts more often. Not a fan of Bible Illustrated, but he's okay. He's just too like always like he's always like I'm better than everybody else because I don't make issues about certain.
Goes in C tier.
Who goes in C tier?
AFR for what they did to Father John and Abbot.
Where's Jim Bob? Is Jim Bob even in here?
Well, they probably don't put him on here because he's not really an Orthodox apologist. He is an Orthodox person who's based...
It just says Orthodox YouTubers.
Well, yeah, he should be on there then. That's unfair.
Yeah.
We love Jim Bob here. He's been baptized.
We give Father Deacon has to go up here too. I think
obviously.
He goes...
No, Father Deacon goes above Kotel.
I almost feel like he'd be up in the S with Jay.
Orthodox Shahada. I think that's just my instinct. I don't watch.
I like
really.
Orthodox Shahada, but it's a very dry.
I don't watch
show.
Ubi, and the only reason I don't watch Ubi is because his stuff is just it drones.
It's dry.
Orthodox Shahada and Ubi are about the same. So if you're really interested in a subject, they're the ones to go to, and I think they know that, and that's a good thing for them.
Some of these I don't recognize. I don't like this. Like, what is this? What is this supposed to be? It's just a saint picture.
That guy, I'm pretty sure that guy is like Gregory Thaumaturgus. He's a schismatic.
Then not Orthodox. Not even F. It's just not Orthodox.
S tier, easy right here for Spirit and Bailey.
AFR goes in C.
Where's AFR?
Second one, top row.
There it is. I think B. I think B because they have some really good stuff, then some really just meh stuff. So it's like really a mixed bag.
Until they get rid of talking women.
Jim Bob's got to be absolutely. Jim Bob would have to be a S tier. But the problem is that it's like if we're comparing him to like other Orthodox people, it's like how is Jay going to hang out without Father Deacon and Ananias on the call?
Protecting Veil goes in C tier.
Someone says Father Spirit and yeah.
At least A.
Oh,
yeah.
Father Spirit is an S tier.
That's what he said. He said at least A.
What is
we
this?
agree with that.
1453 Art of the.
The problem is like if they had pictures of them, it'd be easier to judge because I'd say if you're not young, or like if you're too old and you're a boomer, F tier. Because 99% of like
I just don't know enough about these. Is this Orthodox?
Craig is in the upper right corner right now.
Upper
right corner.
This one?
Craig. Yeah, Craig Trulia.
He's B.
He's kind of the same as Ubi. It's a little drony.
It's not that they're not great. Let's be clear. Ubi's a genius. He's
they have
awesome to listen
shinings.
to.
They have shining
Yes.
moments with some of their stuff, and then there's just like it's not one of those channels that I go and check regularly. You know what I mean?
I check
Yeah.
regularly, but I'm also boring. So
Who the hell is this Mexican dude?
He's probably someone based, and you're just calling him out.
CRI
CRI personally goes to not Orthodox because they're still doing weird Protestant type stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
why-
do too much. They do too much of that, even though technically their leadership is all Orthodox. It's
Where's
like, why
cleave to antiquity? He's not baptized yet. Dang it! Come on. It's over. He's not Orthodox.
I think, is truth be told even Orthodox?
The fact that you asked that question is, I'll essentially say people who haven't taken a hard stance in the Orthobro controversy, I almost want to put in C to not Orthodox tier, because I think a lot. I made this point with like Father Ivanov when he said it. It's like these people these priests stepping in and really like embracing
I'm just gonna look
the
at
faith
community
and
rank.
doing their job. Why the hell?
Subhuman. Someone put subhuman woman. Oh no.
Based.
She's not even.
Well, you just know this person put EOE in D tier and then put Brother Augustine in A. You know they're a Latinizer.
This is Latinizer.
Yeah, it's only funny because he put not even a subhuman woman. It does sound like a Latinizer though. They have no kids, no wife.
That thing that says AM, I think that's Archangel Michael Monastery. They're S tier.
Oh yeah,
I kind of am annoyed though. If you're gonna put Father Deacon and Jay in S tier, why didn't you put them side by side? Because they're always together. I don't understand. And that's us, huh?
I don't know if that's us. No, that's not us.
He didn't even put the rest of them on there. Come on.
Anyways, guys, I gotta get going.
It's good chatting with y'all as always.
It was good chatting, but we gotta
put labels on these tier lists.
They do. They have to put labels, guys. We might do some more tier lists. We might make our own tier list. That'd be fun. Sometime, maybe doing the saints and theologians of our church or something like that. That might.
What if we did like most based medieval kingdom, Orthodox kingdom? That'd be based.
That might be fun for a history
stream.
Like 5. The entire chat's like, "What the hell's a Riazon?" I'm like, "You don't know."
So, with that said, I don't know if Jose is still listening. I don't know if Jose is still listening in the chat. Hit me up on email, dude. Same with you, Timothy. Let me know what they got to say tomorrow. I'm sure that you'll.
I kicked it to my buddy Eve and stuff. So people with more liquid money. So I kicked it out to a couple people. And I'm just gonna wait to hear back from him. My buddy Eve just got back from vacation today, so
cool. I have. With that being said, also Octavian, hit me up. Hopefully you can give me some more information. I did respond to your DM, and then everybody else, thank you everyone who showed up. Thank you for everyone who super chatted. It's much appreciated. Let's see here. We had Goosetooth and Elias. Thank you guys. Sorry that we couldn't do more call-ins. We did have call-ins, but people didn't want to call in today. That's fine. No problem. With that being said, have a wonderful day, guys, and God bless you.
Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Happy Sunday of the First Ecumenical Council.